good afternoon, good evening. We've got Sunday, September 1st, 6:30 in the morning, and it is 75 degrees. Oh, wow, nice and cool, huh? A little bit of a low pressure system going on. We'll remove that. A little bit of a low pressure system going out there. So, yeah, a little bit cooler than normal. Yeah, you know what? Let's take a look. I'll show you guys what we got going on. So, good idea whenever you're looking to come out to the Philippines is to really keep an eye out to the east, right? Just keep an eye out here. So here we are right here in Cebu City, right? And you can set this in motion. Windy.com, shout out to Rod for Amazing Philippines to introducing me and a lot of other people to this app, but really handy to kind of help track the weather out there. And you can see there's a low pressure system that's kind of running through here and just pulling a lot of moisture. It's not categorized as a name storm or anything like that, but it's pulling through a lot of moisture. I'm getting messages quite a bit in the morning on flood warnings and things like that. So it's currently raining, and it's been raining since last night pretty consistently. So that's why it's so green here. You get a little bit of moisture, and you can tell though it looks like it's tracking up to the north, but one of the things too with that is you get a lot more rain in this region, this Luzon region, than you do in some of these other more southern regions, just because of how these storms typically track. So, anyways, man, yeah, I just thought I'd do an impromptu live. I hadn't done a live in a while, so I thought I'd get up and turn the camera on and roll and talk about some stuff. The weather system. Got a trip coming up to Leyte. We were supposed to go yesterday. Got a couple guys that want to take out. So running out to Leyte and doing a trip out there. Maybe even going back up to Billy Ron. But yeah, with this low pressure system, we're a little bit delayed getting out. So it's been a while since I've done a live. So it's like, hop on. It's Saturday night there, Sunday morning here. And so I thought we'd get on. So let's hop on, check out the comments, get a couple people on. It's an impromptu live. I didn't really schedule it or anything, so might not be a bunch of people shows up, but whatever. We can through some stuff. We can talk about what's going on. Lots of people coming in, man. I've met so many new people over the past couple weeks. Really shout out to everyone that I've met. It's just I love meeting the new people out here. Everyone's got a big smile on their face. They're excited to be here. They're happy, and so it's exciting. It's fun. A lot of guys who are doing their scouting trips, checking it out for the first time, and then heading back. So it's always, like I said, it's always fun to meet guys like that, and up to good stuff. So yeah, let's take it out. Hey, Marco from New Mexico. Hope all is good there, dude. Yeah, from Iloilo, huh? You're out in Iloilo now. Tell me, what's your thought on Iloilo? How you liking it out there? I spent basically a long weekend, right? Not much time, but I spent a little bit of time out there. I liked it. It was all right. Yeah. Nice. I liked it. I was recently watching a video from another vlogger, that Canadian guy, right? He was one of the things I found interesting was the house. I think they were renting a house for like, I don't even know, maybe 30 or 40,000 pesos it was. Big, like 3 or 4 bedroom house. So yeah, it looks really cool. Yeah, Iloilo looks great. Well, let me know what you're thinking about that. Nice drone video. Yeah, Richard. So one of the things I was seeing right when I logged into StreamYard is they've upgraded, I think it was a streaming service to 1080. Before you could only stream to 720. You could buy a more premium version of StreamYard. So I already have kind of not the free version. I have the upgraded version. And I think that's right around $200 to $300 US a year. And that allows me to kind of get rid of the crazy logo or whatever and stuff like that. And a little more control where I can, stream out to multiple platforms, because I also stream out to Facebook. So anyways, I did upgrade the premium version, but it was 720. So I'm actually really excited to see how that drone footage looks at 1080. So yeah, it's really cool. But yeah, that drone stuff, that was out in Bye Leyte, and beautiful out there. And let's pull up a map. I'll show you guys what that looks like here. Hold on one second. Yeah, maps. And then, we'll add that stage. Yeah. So was out in, so I'm really doing a lot more out in the southern. I really love this region of the Philippines, man. Ormoc, man, I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. I think Ormoc is completely underrated. Love that little town. But this whole region here, you can just see it, like, right? Look at the terrain, really mountainous, and you're on the western side, so you're getting really beautiful sunsets with mountains, and it really is a gorgeous scene through here. But that drone footage was taken down here in Bye-Bye, right at the southern part of town up here. There's a place called whatever, 10,000 Roses or something like that. But anyways, it was kind of right in this region, right through, oh, maybe actually it might have been more right in this region, right through here. And you're kind of looking out over just, but I love this region of the Philippines, Southern Leyte. Absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, so the drone stuff's been fun. I'm actually looking to do more with the drones too. I'm getting more and more into that. There's some new drones that are coming out that I'm really excited about. I think it's a DJI Neo is what it's called. It's supposed to be a combination of the FPV, what first person, whatever the heck that means. Anyways, yeah, FPV drone where you have the goggles and stuff, which honestly is kind of it's a more immersive experience when you're flying it. Also has two little bit different footage that you get out of that type of drone. But there's that drone's coming out that has some pre-programmed stuff in it that I think will be a good combination. I think right up my alley. I think it's marketed towards guys like me who are out blogging and doing stuff. So really excited about that. And drones in general, you know, I'm really setting up my motorcycle and my vlogging gear to incorporate a lot more drone stuff. I've got a tank bag where I can set remotes on now and use some of the tracking features that are built in. So really excited about my drone footage coming forward. There's going to be a lot of that coming up. Dude, what's up, Morton? Good morning, man. How did I like standing in line, right? Yeah, wow, dude. Yeah, over 4 hours. It's crazy. And I still don't have my license plate. I still don't have it, and I don't know when I'll get it. I couldn't stand back in that line for another 4 hours again. I went back, whatever, in the video, I went back the day or so after. No way, man. No way. So I'm just going to, it's only an issue if you ride your bike, right? And I don't ride here in Cebu at all. I prefer to take a moto taxi. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to Leyte here. We're supposed to go over here soon. We're supposed to go over yesterday, but with the low pressure system and raining, we're going to wait a little bit. But yeah, so I'm going to let it ride out, and I'll go get my plate, whatever, month or so down the road when I'm not going to spend 5 hours in a line. Yeah, it was crazy. Saturday night. Yeah, we live in New York City. Yeah, man. Saturday night in New York. Yep. Sunday morning here, September 1st, 6:30 in the morning. So yeah, Saturday night there. Yeah, I usually do lives on Wednesdays or so, and then every other Wednesdays. But, like I said, I hadn't done one in a while, so I thought I'd hop on and do a live. But yeah. Hello from Rio Rico, Arizona. Nice. Yeah. I think I've been through Arizona a little bit. I mean, I lived in the Colorado region. I lived in Colorado for 20 years and spent a little bit of time. I had an office that I would frequent down in Santa Fe, and sometimes we'd extend the trip and kind of drive around region down to the Grand Canyon. So a little bit. Ah, yeah. Nice, beautiful down there. Humidity is at least 96. Yeah, right now it's raining, so it's 100%. But the weather here, it's pretty consistent every day. Pretty the same. Other than like you'll have rain and stuff like that periodically. But even the rain, unless there's a low pressure system like right now, it's pretty rare that you have like all day rain. It's usually pockets of rain. You have moments of it, half hour or whatever, and then it's done. The rain really hasn't been an issue. I've got caught in it now a couple times out riding, but for the most part, really, less than 5 times of riding around has really rain been an issue. And then, coming up after February, March, April, May is what they call their summer. And those are the drier months. But honestly, those are also the hotter months because you've got just big blue skies and it's super sunny. So I actually don't mind the cloudier season. It's just not as, the temperature's the same, but it's, kind of like a lot of like Colorado, right? Where if you're in the sun versus the shade, it's a really big difference in how you feel, right? In the Colorado, if you're in the shade, it can be quite cold sometimes too, right? And get in the sun and warms you right up. Here too, if you get in the shade, you can cool down a little bit. Get in the sun and you're baking. Yeah, guys from New York, Brooklyn. Yeah, my sister lived in Brooklyn for a while. Trying to remember where. Skokie Park, was it? Is that what it's called? Hell, I can't remember. That might be it though, right? Long time ago. Yes, Flushing. I spent a little bit of time in New so we had an office too in DC. So I'd fly into DC and do my work, and then I'd time it where I would have all weekend. And so I'd take a bus from DC to New York, and I'd spend the weekend in New York City. It was fun. Hang out, have good times. I like the city. It's nice. Yes, Jay, good morning. Just found your channel. Thought it'd be fun to see it live from Cebu City. Yeah, thanks, brother. Yeah, I'm half Cebuano European guy living in Seoul. Oh, nice, dude. Nice to see my hometown. I haven't been back to Cebu in 2 years. Well, brother, I've been in Cebu now for 2 years, and a lot of my content, well, I shoot some. I've got quite a bit of Cebu City stuff, but a lot of my content recently has been traveling out into different regions. But I love Cebu City here. Like I said, I've been here 2 years. I live in JY Square area. Yeah, it's great out here, man. I love it. I do kind of like to get out and explore a little more of some of the more these islands and be more in the province areas. But I love it here, man. Great restaurants, good food, good people, good times. So yeah, man. If anything you want to see, Jay, if you want me to go shoot something, so you can see it, maybe even the top of Cebu, right? If you've been gone for a while, you probably haven't seen the new tops up there. There's probably a bunch of other videos on it, but yeah, let me know if there's something you want me to shoot, brother. You want me to drive by your home area, pick a street you want me to ride by? But yeah, were toilets invented in were toilets invented in Flushing. Ilo is amazing. Incredible nightlife, safe, great food. If only it was cooler, right? Yeah, I was all right. I don't know what it was. Like I said, I've only spent a weekend there, but I didn't have the friendliest of vibes from the locals. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is. And honestly, too, guys, and maybe it's because it had a like a really obvious middle and upper class there. Bacolod too, right? And that's kind of my understanding of Bacolod. Although I haven't been to Bacolod yet, I will be soon. But any of these upper middle class environments, they're less likely to want to date us, right? Which is kind of interesting. Not that they're not interested, but I think there's a lot more pressure from the family to stay within Filipino. It's also stay within the same status. So yeah, really interesting. I do like Iloilo. My plan eventually is to buy a motorcycle like yours and travel the entire Philippines in a year. Yep, staying at a location for a month at a time, eventually drive nearly everywhere. And then, yep, dude, I'm with you, Marco. I love that. I love that. It's kind of what I want to do too. I'm setting up a base in Leyte, so that really gives me a great place to kind of launch some trips from. Um, and then eventually I would see kind of a place probably in Davao City. So yeah, I really get a place in Davao City, get a place probably eventually in Ormoc. I really like Ormoc. So Ormoc, Davao City, and then here, maybe somewhere up north too, Bacolod City or Iloilo would be a option for that region, and then just kind of cruise around, and then you've got a base you can stay at. They're really affordable, so you can get places really cheap. A place in the provinces is what 6,000 pesos a month. Let's convert that out. So 6,123, yeah, $106. $106 to have a place out there. And if you can, like, one of the plans that I have is I get a StreamYard, or not StreamYard, Starlink. I get the Starlink internet service, and I can take my internet with me, so I don't have to pay for that everywhere, because that would be a little bit of a downer, right? I have to pay internet in 3 or 4 different places if I'm only there, brief periods. But so yeah, that's the plan. Yeah, yep, yes. A permanent home. Yeah, a permanent home. Yeah, find a permanent home. Yep, I understand. Yep. Yes. Hey, from Florida. What's up, man? How's things in Florida? So I lived in Anna Maria Island and Bradenton, Tampa area. Let's see, I moved down there in the mid '80s. I lived there almost 10 years or so before I moved to Colorado. But yeah, like it out there. Like Florida a lot. My son's still out there, so I'll be back in Florida for sure. Yep. Wanted to get your type of scooter to do that. Can I survive that abuse? Yeah. What type of scooter to do that ride, Marco? I would get the Honda ADV 160. Yeah, let's show you. Let's see here. Add the stage. Yeah, here's a bike I would get. I will show you. Honda, let's see here. Honda scooters. There we go. This is the bike I would get. It's on page 2. This site's going to look a little bit different, right? Because it's in the Philippines. But this bike here, it really is, you know, it's a perfect bike in so many ways. Outside of Luzon. So there's an area of the Philippines called Luzon. It's the big main island. And around the Manila area, there are some interstates there where you need at least a 400cc motorcycle to access those roads, right? But that's the only area. So you're talking a really small area of the entire country where you need a bigger bike. So outside the Manila area, this bike right here is probably the most practical. Now, is it the best machine? And if you like motorcycles, no, you'd want to probably move towards a motorcycle. But if you're like, I don't really care, you know, as far as motorcycle versus scooter, like you don't kind of have that, like you haven't grown up riding, I would, you know, right here, this is the bike you want. And the reason is just it's very practical for the Philippines. It works well. The speeds that you're riding in this country are very slow. I mean, if you've watched any of my videos, I don't really get above 40, 50 miles an hour, hardly ever. So it's, you know, a slower moving vehicle is just fine. And here's one of the key things about it is you just have all this built-in storage here, right? You're sitting on, I don't even know how many liters of storage that is. It's quite a bit, right? Whatever, maybe it shows here what the storage is. And then, yeah, it doesn't, but then you can buy a top box for here. So it's just, they're just super practical. And, you know, they work really well and you're comfortable. I got a buddy I have a buddy who bought one and he said he's 3 hours in the saddle and he's just fine. And you can see the price there. It's what, 167,000. So if we take 167, 1, 2, 3, you know, that's just under $3,000. So for $3,000, you've got great, reliable, practical transportation that you can also sell if you needed to, right? That's another thing to kind of factor in is it's a very sellable machine. They're everywhere. So, but if you're more like me, like nothing against scooters. I'm more comfortable on a motorcycle. I like the clutch and the brake and that kind of deal. So I'm glad I got a motorcycle. That's what I like to ride. And I just bought the NX 500, which I think is a phenomenal machine also for the Philippines. You know, there are probably better machines like the CF Moto 450 is probably a great motorcycle for here also. And the Royal Enfield Himalayan 450 is probably another one. I say these 3 machines are really good. The CF Moto and the Royal Enfield are a lot cheaper. So yeah, anyways, lots of ways to go. But if you're looking for a scooter, the bike I showed you, the ADV 160, is the way to go. Yeah. What's up, brother? What was that about? I missed it. Something you said earlier? I'm still waking up, man. It's 6:30 in the morning there, almost 7. Got my coffee going. How many Filipino chicks have I smashed yet? Let me see. I don't know. Maybe 5 or 6. Yeah, not too many. Some guys are like 5 to 6 a week. Whatever, man. To each their own. Not my speed, not my style. My dating style, Jeremy, is more of I like to get to know people, right? Like, dude, I'm 53 years old. I'm not 20. You know, I've been around the block. I've been around. I didn't get married until I was 40. You know, so I was married 40 to 50. So I've kind of experienced that playing around phase, and where I'm at now in those relationships is I really just like to get to know people, and so that's kind of what I'm at. But I have dated a little bit. I mean, when I first got here, I didn't date at all. I just really focused on adapting and getting to know my environment, getting to know the culture and the people. So that was really the first 6 months. And I do recommend, granted, you probably don't want to wait 6 months. And waiting 6 months wasn't completely by design. I would say the first couple months was. But after that, you know, I was definitely really ready to date. But I struggled with the dating here. I'm not a kind of guy who is really comfortable picking up women. I find that whole process, you know, annoying and like rude, like walking. I don't know, man. My own stories on that, right? So I'm not really good at that kind of deal or want even to be good at that. I just have no desire to be a pickup artist. But anyways, so yeah, a lot of that was my own design. And then and then just kind of figuring out good strategies. I made some videos, honestly, on dating strategies. I recommend checking it out. Go into detail as far as where to go and apps to use, things like that, because it's very, very different here. And you talked a little bit about, earlier brought up the middle class and upper class Filipino too, and it's very different dating. It is a complete 180 from the dating in the West. You have really millions and millions of options. The dating is really incredible. And there's strategies, there's things you got to know, the classes, the culture, where to meet people, on what online resources to use. There is a lot to navigate. I mean, it's why guys make entire channels on dating, because it's different, right? Thankfully, it's different, but with that comes some challenges. But yeah, I've dated around a little bit. After Joe, I was in a relationship with a girl named Joe for 4 months, I think it was. And after that, I had, got on online apps like I talk about in the video there. And I think I had maybe 3 or 4 different girls that I was dating in a short period of time there, maybe a couple months. And then I met Mary Rose, and I've been dating her now for I think 4 months or so. So great girl out of the provinces. And yeah, man. So definitely a lot more than the previous 5 years where it was 0. I got divorced and, wasn't dating at all, like a lot of guys in the West, right? And, that is one of the things that we get out here. We have to just really be, mindful of. It's just, we come from a scarcity conversation around dating, and then we get out here and it's really abundant, man. There's a lot of options, a lot of options. So yeah, really fun. Jay, oh man, that falling in line video got me thinking why I moved. Yeah, I was in the middle of it for 9 months at work, just getting from A to B it's just, and that's kind of one of the things when you're these bigger cities that you're going to kind of deal with. I guess lines in general, it's you're gonna have to wait. Thankfully, for me, I'm not working. I'm just kind of doing this and traveling around. So, and when I'm in the lines, I'm joking with the people and that kind of stuff. So I try to enjoy myself, but it can be hard, from Western mindset where it's go, 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 go. I mean, we eat in our car, right? We're driving around, we're so busy. We don't even take time to stop and eat sometimes. So it is really different here in that sense where, you're going to spend times just kind of standing and waiting. So yeah, big adjustment for some people for sure. Even myself, yep. You're supposed to relocate there. Yeah, I like Cebu City. I like it here. It's nice. It's a great little town. I do feel like for guys who are just coming to the country, I feel it's probably the perfect spot to kind of come. I think there's a couple regions, right? Let's go out to the map. Let's add the stage. We'll bring this back to the map. I think there's a couple regions. We can talk about that really quick because I think it's kind of key. So here we are in Cebu City, right? If you look at all of the Philippines, you're talking about the central region right here. It's called the Visayas. So here in Cebu City is really that perfect place to start. You can just get your kind of feet wet here, get tied in with immigration, and that it just makes it simple. If you're kind of more of a city guy, or so the other city that I think is really good is Dumaguete. And I would suggest this and a lot of people know Dumaguete because, Paul and what's her name? Filipina P and all those guys are down there, right? So, but I wouldn't suggest Dumaguete for the city guy. I wouldn't. And I honestly, if it's even more than that, I wouldn't. If you're like a country guy, like you've lived on a farm, and I lived on a farm in South Dakota when I was a small kid. So I'm not bashing that. I'm just kind of trying to give some context to it, right? But I would say Dumaguete would work in that instance. If you're a small town guy and that's kind of really what you want, and the cities just really upset you, I would check out Dumaguete. And the other reason why that is because you do have a foreigner presence there that you can go to, and you can freaking go to Ground Zero and have breakfast and meet guys and talk to guys, and then boom, go out to the country, right? That's what a lot of guys do. So you do have that foreigner presence there, which is really key, especially when you get here. But then you can also get out to the country. And the same thing with Cebu, right? So Cebu would be for most guys who are city or even smaller kind of city kind of environment in the West, that's where you're coming from, come to Cebu, meet the foreigner guys and kind of get your feet wet in that, and then boom, move out. Iloilo would be another option, but that to me would be similar to Dumaguete, where you'd really want to be, well, just there's not a big foreigner in presence there in Iloilo. I mean, it's growing, but Iloilo to me would be like that second city. Like you got here in Cebu, you got established, and now you want to go check out some other areas, and you still want a city. That's how I would describe Iloilo, as more that second option. Another place to start, so you got Cebu City to start, you got Dumaguete to start. Another option would be Manila and BGC and Makati. And for this type of person, like if you're coming from New York, you're coming from LA, that's who I would suggest to go there, right? So yeah, Cebu City for most of us to start, Makati, BGC for the big city guys like New York and LA, that you're used to that city living, you want those amenities, and then Dumaguete for the country guys, right? That's what I would, the pathway to that. And then, you know, once you, like me, right? Like once you get out to Cebu City and you've been here for a while, where the hell am I? There we are. Once you get out to Cebu City and you've been here for a while, then you know what? You go check out like Ormoc, you go check out like Iloilo, right? You go check out some of these areas that are around. Yeah, that's kind of the pathway I would recommend for a lot of guys who are coming to live out here, and just even check it out, right? Even Bohol, right? You start here in Cebu and you kind of check out Bohol in that region. So yeah, I like it. It's okay, Aaron. You know, the thing that I'm seeing though, as I get out to some of these other areas, I really enjoy the province experience. I enjoy, like, look, the main reason why I moved out to the Philippines is to be around happy, friendly people, to be around in a happy, friendly environment, right? It's really the main reason. And to focus on my health and fitness and well-being. And a lot of that was, you know, surrounding myself in an environment where I can have easy access to gyms and exercise so I can work on my fitness, but also too, being around happy, friendly people, right? So in the city, it's not like they're unhappy, but there is a noticeable difference when you get out into some of these more remote areas where people are a lot more friendlier. And it's not every town, but it's quite a few that you'll get out and just, hey, good morning, how are you? Just people are really curious about you. And I really like that more small town feeling that I get when I'm in some of these more remote areas. You know, when I'm over in Palampan Leyte, you know, let's bring it on the map. This is where I've currently got my second residence going on out there. It's over in Palampan Leyte. I mean, when I'm out here, I love walking around and just being out with the people, going to the barbecue. Just people are just absolutely friendly. I just love that. And two, you know, you're talking a town of 65,000 people. You've got easy access to some nature out here. This road, as a motorcyclist, you know, I love riding around on a motorcycle. And this loop here that I've done that I'm about ready to show you, like, where the hell is that? Yeah, okay, right up here. I think I ride out here and do kind of this road and then come back to the water and just ride the coast. I mean, it's just gorgeous. I've done that probably route, I don't even know, half a dozen times, if not more. You know, so I just really enjoy that experience that it's hard to kind of get in Cebu. You know, definitely, you're talking big town, right? 3.5 million when you talk about the whole region. You know, you're Chicago. So it's a good. I like it. It's good. I like a little bit of both, though. I like getting out. That's kind of why I like Ormoc, I feel, too. You know, where you've got these towns with a little bit bigger population. You've got access, you know, there's a couple malls in there, things like that. And for me, where I'm living in Palampan, it's about an hour and a half away to Ormoc. So wouldn't mind, though, being a little bit closer to Ormoc. Yes, I'm from Queens, New York. Yes. Waiting for the Mets to start from Chicago. Yeah, cool. My neighbor who is Philippine just came back from month's vacation, visit three islands. Yeah, Palawan. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, no, that's beautiful, right? A little bit of a low pressure system now out here that's building, and you know, it's not a big danger so far, right? But you know, it is making it pretty wet right now. In Iloilo, heading to Bacolod tomorrow. Yeah, the house hunt. Nice, Kurt. Yeah. You ever done Bacolod? Thoughts? I have not done Bacolod. I like it. I'm gonna be in Bacolod, brother. I'll be in Bacolod for the Mascara Festival. In what, October? I'm already booked. I've got that, so I'll be out there then, man. So for those who don't know, Mascara Festival is just an incredible event, right? Let's see if we can pull anything up on that. MAS, yeah, Mascara Festival. Yeah, well, let's share this out. Add the stage. So you got the Mascara Festival, and just look at that. Look at that imagery, right? I mean, just amazing. So beautiful, those costumes, right? I mean, just look at that. Unbelievable. Yeah, I can't wait. So it's a big parade, big festival. As you can see there, Sunday, October 27th. So I'm going to be riding out. I'll be riding out over there. I'll ride out here from Cebu to Toledo. And then I'll take a ferry from Toledo to San Carlos. And then I'll ride from San Carlos over to Bacolod. So yeah, I'll be there, brother. And I'll be there October. And so yeah, Bacolod. So my understanding of Bacolod is it's basically is you've had a lot of the wealthy plantationers from Iloilo shoot across the way and start up plantations there in Bacolod. So I think it's a little bit of history of there from what I was told. So yeah, no, it seems all right. I'm a small town, seems pretty good. You know, the thing I like about like Ormoc over like a Bacolod is it's my ease to get back to Cebu City, my access to a major airport, right? Let's pull this back up again, and I kind of show you what I'm talking about. I really dig this strategy of, you know, this region of Leyte right here, guys. We're a 3-hour ferry ride back to a major international airport. So Bacolod, you're not, right? It's pretty far to get to Cebu City, and you're gonna fly. You probably even have to I don't know if Bacolod has an airport. Probably have to go to Iloilo and then fly to Cebu. For me, this whole region is really easy to get to Cebu City, and then access to the city, and then access to a major airport. So that's my only, as I'm staying here, and even Dumaguete, right? Same kind of thing with Dumaguete. You got to get on a plane to Dumaguete to fly to Cebu. So that's kind of what I like about Leyte and even Bohol, is your access to Cebu City, and the goods and things that are here, medical, airports, shopping, all of that, right? It's easier to get to when you look at this region of Leyte as well as Bohol that you don't really have in Bacolod or Iloilo. And I don't know if that's necessarily a deal breaker. I mean, I think the guys that are pretty much out there stay out there. You know, like in Iloilo, they use the services that are there. They don't really come to Cebu, but yeah. So that's my only thoughts about those particular regions. Yeah, because Cebu is really just this big central hub. You've got easy access to Mindanao. You've got easy access to Leyte. You got ferries that are coming in and out. So as a guy who's looking to travel around and explore a little bit, Cebu just makes a lot of sense. Dude, if you're not looking to travel, if you're looking just the smaller town with a good vibe, Bacolod looks great, brother. Looks great. Yeah, it sounds great. I can't wait to check it out in October. Really excited about that. Yeah, I haven't heard any bad things, that's for sure. I think the one negative for me is I'm kind of thinking through it. Same with Iloilo. I'm pretty sure they speak Ilongo up there, right? It's just another dialect, which it's a dialect that's not really used other than that kind of small region up there. And I've been spending my time learning Bisaya, which is the dialect in this region. I think it's the second most spoken dialect in the Philippines behind Tagalog, which Tagalog is mainly spoken in Luzon and Manila. Tagalog is known by everybody, but honestly, when you have Filipino to Filipino and they speak different dialects, they're probably not going to speak Tagalog with each other. They're going to speak English. So yeah, brother. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. It was really interesting, right? The first 10,000 came like that, really quick, within 6 months, really fast. And the last 5,000 have been a little bit on the slow side. You know, I think I hit 10,000 subscribers, maybe even over a year ago. And the last 5,000, it's been a little bit slow moving, but whatever, man. I'm not worried. I'm doing this for fun, right? You know, I'm having fun. I mean, you kidding me? Freaking driving around the Philippines and flying drones and shooting cameras, and it's freaking dream. But thanks, brother. I do appreciate it. And it's not like I don't care, right? Obviously I do care. I wouldn't, you know, but it's also too, it doesn't, you know, it's not what keeps me up at night, right? Nothing keeps me up at night, but yeah, I'm passionate about stuff in life for sure. I do want it. I do want to build a successful channel. If I look at my goals, Morton, around this channel, I'm definitely accomplishing those. And mainly it's about, one, me giving something to me to do where I can occupy my mind and keep learning, growing, and developing. That's really the number one priority with this channel. And then two, also documenting my experience in life where I can look back, whatever, 10, 20 years from now. But then also too, another thing around this channel, another strategy around it is just building a community. And all those things are happening. So I'm really accomplishing what I want with this channel. Really liking it a lot. In particular, the community has been really, I love that aspect of it. And that was something that we definitely was a strategy, but I didn't really fully realize how much I would enjoy that part of it. Just meeting the guys that are coming in, meeting the people, right? I meet people all the time. I met this guy and his mother the other day at the mall, and they were just, it's really cool. I really dig that part of it. And then putting people together, right? Like sometimes it's, me and we're creating stuff with other people, but sometimes it's, other people with common interests, creating these friendships. So I'm really seeing a lot of that too, the bonds that other people are making. And, because we move here, we don't know anybody, right? It's a foreign country. And, just, allowing these communities, these people to get together and build these friendships has been one of the biggest things that I've really enjoyed kind of the channel. But yeah, thanks, Martin. Appreciate it, brother. Thanks for being a part of it. Jimmy, hey again, Chris, maybe I missed it. Maybe I missed it. And Cebu is the only place currently requiring the physical plate on your bike. Brother, I don't know, Jimmy. I don't know much about it. There's some guys that sent me the information early on about it. I didn't know. But yeah, it's a new kind of ordinance that we got passed, October 21st, or not October, August 21st. And then it's going to start being enforced September 1st, which is here today, about having plates. So yeah, man, I don't know, man. Before, what would happen is the dealership wouldn't even give you, they just give you your OR and your CR, which are the two registration documents, and then you go print one off. So I don't know much about it, to be honest with you, other than it's a requirement. My plan around that is just, man, because I can't, that's just, it was too much. That was 4 hours standing up in line. I'm in good shape, but still, that was hard on my body. It took me like a day and a half to recover from that. But yeah, so I'm just gonna let it die down, man. I won't ride. I don't really ride my bike here in Cebu City, although I'm probably gonna be leaving in a couple days to Leyte. But once I get over there, I'm just gonna leave my bike there, man. Whatever. They won't. No problems out there. Yeah, no problem, Jay. Do you do videos on apartments and condos, especially long-term rental costs? Richard, I've done a couple of videos. I wouldn't necessarily describe this channel as a real estate channel at all. But it's really an everyday life kind of thing. And if I'm looking for, if whatever I'm kind of doing, I'm going to show you. And sometimes that's looking for apartments, right? So like in Leyte, when I was out there looking for a place, I kind of showed you guys that in some places, but it's not anything I typically do on a regular basis. No. But yeah, I mean, there's going to be some of that in the future too. My lease is done here in February. So I would suspect there could be more and more of that. I'm going to shoot a lot more from my apartment in Leyte as we kind of change stuff. We might be moving out of there, so we're kind of looking at some stuff. But yeah, that could be there. As far as budget stuff, I typically don't do a lot of budget stuff, but I'm definitely due for a budget video. I'm interested in my budget video, but I do budget stuff a little bit differently than some guys. I find it really disempowering to focus on my budget on a daily, weekly, even monthly basis. Honestly, I don't know. I don't like that particular conversation. So what I do with my budget, I look more at a yearly. It's like, where am I at this year? What am I allowed? What kind of spending do I have, and that kind of deal. So and then I just operate out of try to scarcity and really look at my purchases to try to make sure I'm not kind of overspending, although it's been a little bit expensive the past several months with the new bikes and things like that. So, but yeah, more of that to come though, for sure. Because I know it is a really interest for people, especially as people are trying to come out here and seeing how much they need. So I'll be doing some more of that, you know, especially from Pond. Because I'm gonna find it interesting too as I'm living out there. What's it cost me for me to live in the provinces, right? You know, what's a rock bottom budget? Because I could show you guys a rock bottom budget from living there. I've already got, you know, an apartment for 6,000 pesos. You know, what's the rest of my costs out there with the internet? I think it's what, 1,500 pesos and things like that. You could live, guys. You could live really, really cheap out there. You can live really cheap, but just would you want to? Again, you want to be that small town farmer guy. Yeah, Jimmy. Hopefully you're up to ride through Mindanao. Let's go, man. In late November, certainly in the U.S., but we'll arrive late October and buy a bike. Guessing I'll buy it now on that island versus Cebu. Yeah, yeah, Jimmy. No, good. Yeah. So yeah, I could do some riding in October. So what you want to do, you want to just give it some time for registration. And you're right, man. You might not want to buy in Cebu right now, given the cluster that's absolutely here. It might make sense more to go somewhere else and buy that bike because you can probably find that ADV 160 anywhere. But if you get here in late November, yeah, it'll probably be late October before you're ready to go. So wait. Right. Yeah. I'm sorry. If you get here in late October, it'll be late um, late October before you're ready to go. So yeah, a good month to get that registration. But yeah, man, I'm down for some trips. Absolutely, man. Absolutely down. Let's go, man. Let's do it. Let's do some riding. Uh, Besides the 3 islands in the Philippines, my neighbor went to Thailand for the first time, all around Bangkok, and loved it. Yes, man. You know, so there's a lot of talk. So as I was out paying my ticket, I ran into a foreigner. He's actually been on a couple of YouTube channels. He's that Postman guy. I think Scott, regular guy, chatted about him. And I know Filipina P had him on a video years ago. But I see him every now and then. Really, really a character, right? An older retired postman. But anyways, I was chatting with him. And he was talking about going out to Cambodia. And what's it? Penang, or let's take a look at what's it called here. 1 second. Yeah. Phnom Penh? Butchering that. Here, let's pull up the map. Add stage. So there's a lot of talk about Cambodia. Yeah, they're right here. Phnom Penh. And then you go back and forth to Vietnam. So I don't know, man. Yeah, that's what he was saying. He says, Chris, I'm out of the Philippines. And he's been coming here for years. But I said, well, where are you going? You know, what has your interest in that? You know, a lot of guys are a little bit like upset about the visa situation, you know, and whatever, man. I think Rod from Amazing Philippines had an interesting perspective recently in one of his videos where he talked about when he first came to the Philippines, maybe 10 years ago, there was actually a lot more that you had to do. You had to put in references, and he listed a bunch of things that were there. So while things are changing here and it's not as easy or as, basically the 6-month visa is gone and they're starting to do interviews. So that's kind of really what's there. So it's a little bit of a departure from what it was when I first arrived here. But from my understanding, kind of getting his perspective on one of his videos, it's nothing like kind of where it is. And they're just trying to crack down. They're trying to get people not working here. I guess there's whatever Chinese scammers or something that's coming over and setting up businesses. So they just really want to get people on the right visa and that kind of deal. And they're really trying they don't want this to be a haven for criminals and stuff like that. So they're doing, I think, a lot more background checks. And they're also, they're wanting to get rid of sexpats. And so, it all makes sense. I get it. But there is a lot of, talk about going to some other places. Cambodia was one of the ones that I heard. So, yeah, really interesting. I'd love to go to Thailand. I'd love to ride Vietnam, too. I was chatting with a guy who talks about riding from North to South Vietnam on a motorcycle. I mean, it sounds amazing. I really want to do a lot more riding in Southeast Asia, a lot more. But probably need to buy a bike out there, though, too. So, yeah, man, I'm down, man. I can't wait. Yes, Lloyd. Good morning, Chris. How do I go about getting a tourist visa for my girlfriend to visit me in Canada? Oh, Lloyd, yeah, good luck with that. It's just really hard for them. It's not impossible, So I've met upper class Filipinos who go to the United States, but they're that, right? It's hard for the average Filipino to come to the United States. It really is. Maybe even almost impossible for them to come. It takes a couple of years. What you're going to need to do, Lloyd, is you're probably going to need to hire some sort of visa consulting service to manage that for you. It's something you can't even do on your own. I would think. So yeah, what I would do is, if you're really serious about, and congratulations, man, you found a girl you're really connected with, and you'd like for her to go home. That's great, brother. Good for you. Good for good for the both of you. And just to put things in perspective, it can be quite challenging to get her there, and it could take a couple years. But my advice to you would be to hire a consulting agency to kind of give you some coaching on how that works. But yeah, good for you, brother. If BMW comes out with a 500 GS, yeah, I'll sell a kidney, right? Well, dude, they have some yeah, what do they have? The 300 and the 800, right? So they have some stuff around that. It's just, they're not good bikes, right? They're better options. And that Himalayan 450, man, I'm telling you, that Himalayan 450, I almost wish I bought it. I think 2026 is it. Or, yeah, 2025, 2026 might be the year to get that Himalayan. A couple bugs to work on, but that bike looks amazing for here. Looks absolutely amazing. Of course, CF Moto 450 MT looks amazing too, right? The engine, 2-cylinder, really good sound. Also, too, though, that brand we don't really know much about. So, and the dealer accessibility is really hard too here. That's kind of why I went with Hondas. There's Hondas everywhere. Yeah, but yeah. No, I hear you, man. There's some 1250 GSs out here. Blue and AKA Sharky. What's up, homie? This is Samal, old Captain Blue. Love the DMV line. Yeah, no thanks. I hear you, right? That was crazy, man. That was crazy. You mean whores and Lambos. I guess I'm a BGC guy. Yep. That's where you want to go, brother. Nothing wrong. Look, each their own, man. I get it, man. Each their own. Yeah, no Lambos out here. Well, there are. I mean, there's some cars. There's just, you can't ride anywhere, brother. The Ferrari, Lamborghini on a go-kart track, right? That's what you got here. Freaking, you can't even get that dang thing out of first gear. Not here. Not 90% of the country. There's one, Luzon. You got some interstates up there. You don't have interstates here, right? There's not one. There's just roads that cut through this way and that way, right? And they're narrow. The last thing you'd want to do is ride a multi-million-dollar vehicle down the street, and yeah. And the roads are, while they're okay, they're not perfect. That's why a really good ADV motorcycle, dude, spot on, man. Just perfect. You can soak up the potholes, no problem, go over speed bumps. It's kind of too one of the things versus a scooter versus a motorcycle, honestly. And that Honda ADV 160 is good at a lot of that. It's not as good as a motorcycle, right? I could really tell. My NX 500, man, I got I mean, these speed bumps and potholes, man, I'm just freaking right through them. They don't bother me at all. So, but yeah, Lambo, and yeah, you're gonna be up in BGC, but you can find professionals everywhere, especially on Tinder and dating stuff. They're everywhere. Let me take that back. They're not everywhere, but they're in Manila, they're in Cebu, that kind of stuff. The bigger cities, probably those two areas. Oh, of course, what do you say? Angeles? Is it pronounced Angeles City, I believe? Yeah, those three areas. More so Manila, BGC. A little bit of that activity here. Not so much, but a little bit. And then, sorry, my ear was wet or something. I don't know what the hell. But yeah. And then, of course, Angeles City is full of that. But if that's kind of your deal, dude, I would actually go more towards Pattaya. And look, I'm not judging, right? I'm not judging. I get it. I get the whirl of it. Especially you're coming here on a 2-week vacation. You're coming from the West. I get it, right? But I would go to Pattaya, right? Pattaya, Bangkok, or Pattaya, Thailand. That's where I go. If that's your 2-week vacation and you want to date around a lot, you can go there, man. Problem solved. Yeah, oh my blue. Yeah, I mean BGT, but no worries, brother. I get it, man. And a lot of guys look to come out here. I mean, dude, I was looking to come out for a couple week vacation, and a lot of the strategy that a lot of guys do, they'll get on the dating sites a little bit before, they'll try to meet up with a Filipina, and the Filipina meets them at the airport, and whatever. There ain't nothing wrong with that, right? There ain't nothing wrong with that. It's just if you're moving here, you know, I do think if you're moving here, it's better to connect with a community of guys, get yourself set up, and then start dating, right? Yeah, if you're not, take a look at my community group. Even if you're not moving to Cebu or just want to chat with guys, dude, I think we got like whatever, close to 500 members now. It's a private group, so you have to kind of whatever, you know, apply for it. Well, it's not apply, but just, you know, join the group. But the thing we're looking for is we got to have a profile picture. You can't have a new profile. Like the profile has to be more than a couple months old. And then of course, no spamming, no politics, no stuff. Dude, we're chill dudes, we're chill people. It's you know, some women in there too, but it's a lot like this channel. Right? Just be a chill, laid back guy. You have a commitment to help people out and share your experiences or whatever. And then that's the only requirement really of being part of that community. But take a look at that community. Maybe you can meet some guys ahead of time. I've got a real estate broker that I suggest all the time on there. He's part of the community. So it's a great space to ask questions, in particular around Cebu, but people are from all over. So yeah, check out the community group. I'm not quite as involved as I'd like to be because I get busy with YouTube and all that stuff and shooting videos. It's a lot of work, but you know, I like that. But anyways, yeah, check out the community group, man. Meet some guys. Yeah, rented an ADV in 160 in Mindanao and thought it was underpowered for the hills with 2 up. Oh, thanks, Jimmy. It's not about top speed, but its ability to get around buses and trucks and hills. You're right on. And that's kind of why I went right with a motorcycle. You're right. And having that torque, having that power to kind of get up and go is key. Now, I understand they can modify them a little bit to make them a little more responsive. Like they can switch out some of the internals in that drivetrain to make it a little more responsive on that. But yeah, if you're a bigger dude, you might want to look towards a motorcycle. You really might. But it you know, I don't know. You're right. You would adapt, Jimmy, too. I think if you got on that bike for a while, you'd kind of learn around. But you're right. You do want something that can get around traffic and kind of move. Or you have to be a lot more defensive. If you get a bike like mine, the NX 500, you can navigate really easy around stuff. So yeah. But you also, too, the last thing you want is a big freaking leader bike, right? Something big, heavy, and clunky. It's just same kind of thing like we're talking about earlier, a Lamborghini in freaking the provinces. You can't get out of first gear. So it really is this ideal, you know, kind of size of motorcycle that works. And anyone who's been on 2 wheels for, you know, a couple of years knows it's your really right tool for the job, right? You know, you also don't want to buy a Goldwing and try to do a BDR on it. It's impossible. So there really is a right tool for the Philippines riding, and it's these smaller, these agile displacement machines to kind of where you can ride at some of these lower speeds and kind of get in and out of traffic and then do some mild off-road stuff, right? Yeah, Himalayan 450, CF Moto 450, maybe the NX 500, but the NX 500 is pretty much, it's a street bike, right? Yeah, good stuff, guys. Richard, wow, Cebu City has 1 million peeps. Dumaguete is around 130,000. Yeah, but Richard, if you look at let's pull up the map. Add to stage. All right. If you look at the population, where the hell am I? If you look at the population of Cebu City, it's actually 3.5 million if you count this whole region of Cebu, which it really is. I mean, you're talking an area that's really small. So if you count Mandaue, you count Lapu-Lapu, Talisay, this whole region, you're talking 3.5 million. And so, yeah, it's big stuff, right? Big stuff. Yeah, and Dumaguete, I think you're right on around Dumaguete. What was the population of, Ormoc population, POPU, Ormoc population. Yeah, 230,000 for Ormoc. Yeah, what's bye-bye? Yeah, bye-bye city population. 118. So what was that? Is that similar to, where'd your comment go? Yeah, so bye-bye Lete is about similar to Dumaguete. And let's look at Dumaguete. Dumague. Yeah, Dumaguete population. Yeah, 134 as of 2020, right? So I'm sure it's a lot more than that. Yeah, yeah. So your 134 is as of 2020. So yeah, man. Yeah. Iloilo, I think, is right around there too. Let's see what Iloilo is at, right? Let me get back there. Yeah, Iloilo city population. Yeah, wow, 500,000. That seems high. That might be a more recent stat, eh? 2015. Weird. Yeah. So, is it really that much bigger than Ormoc? Yeah. Metro population 1 million. Yeah, and Cebu City is so much bigger than Iloilo. Yeah, interesting, right? So yeah, you can just kind of look around. I do like these kind of smaller towns, Ormoc, that kind of Iloilo would be that. Yeah, yeah. Cebu City has everything: good food, nightlife, gyms. Yeah, no, it does, Jim. I think my only complaint really about Cebu City is just the access to like nature and good motorcycle riding. It just doesn't have a lot of that. If you here, let's pull up the map again. If you if you just want to stay in the city, yeah, no worries, right? If your priority is healthcare, access to malls and goods and stuff like that, you're absolutely right, brother. Cebu City all day long. If you want to get out and try to adventure a little bit, Cebu City can still do that. But what you're going to find yourself you're going to do in that case is you're going to hop on a boat or a ferry and you're going to head to freaking Bohol, or you're going to head to Leyte like I did, or wherever, right? You could really go anywhere in the Philippines from Cebu. I mean, just check this out, guys. There's Cebu City. You're right in the middle. You can actually get a ferry over to CDO. I've been looking to do that. You can get ferries over to Iloilo. And the reason I say ferries is because if you have a motorcycle or your own transportation, you can get around. So yeah, I like it, but it it's nice. But for you to kind of get out of the city, like for me, if I wanted to ride Cebu, it takes me an hour and a half just to get down here and to Naga or Car, right? And really, the Cebu City freaking goes all the way down to Car. So it's just not good riding because of that. So that's my only complaint about Cebu. But if that's not a complaint for yours or whatever, there's ways around that. But it's not even. I don't even want to go as far to say like the traffic is bad, because I lived in cities that have had worse traffic. Now there is bad traffic here, but I mean, even Denver, man. Denver was 24/7. Here on Sundays, there's no traffic on the road on Sundays. But there are times where it's bad and congested. And when it's rainy, good luck freaking going anywhere when it's rainy out, right? Or even rush hour traffic can be pretty congested. But yeah, so I don't want to go as far as to say that there's just the traffic is why, but it seems to me like it takes you forever to get out of the town. So that's my only really kind of complaint about Cebu City. And then the other thing I would just kind of say around that is, if you're looking for more of that authentic Philippines experience, right? If you're looking for more of like a smaller kind of friendlier vibe, then Cebu City isn't a good option for that either. And it's not that they're unfriendly, right? It's not that they're not nice to you or any of that, but when you get out in some of these like more other areas that aren't so congested with foreigners, there is a little more of that. Hey, how are you? Nice to see you. Even in the dating aspect of that, right? So the dating really in Cebu City, is whatever. It's an online dating experience. And when you get out in some of these more remote areas, you can actually meet and talk to people and that kind of deal, and make these more natural dating connections, I feel. So yeah, I like it. And there's, I like Cebu City as a base and then kind of go out, right? Kind of what I'm doing. Yes. Yes, you are. It went up after the shorts again. Yep. Not envious at all. You're riding around. I know, brother. Yeah. So what I started doing with the shorts is I started cutting up a lot of my videos into shorts and then pointing those shorts back to the long form content. So I'm really liking that strategy a lot, and I will be doing that from here on out. There's no reason not to. It's a great way to kind of recycle content and reuse that content, because let's face it, sometimes people won't watch the whole video and they're bits and pieces they might miss, and so I'm able to cut out that content and then point people back to the video. So I'm currently going through some of my more successful videos and cutting those up into shorts, And then I've got shorts coming out every day. And I'm also pulling that same content and putting it out on all platforms. So that's going to Facebook, it's going to Instagram, it's going to TikTok. So this is the beginning, Morton. It's the beginning. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Jamie? How you doing, brother? How are you doing down there? I'd probably head down to Mindanao here in a little bit. I don't know. Yes, Ian gave me a heart. Yeah, I hope you're good down there, man. I'll let you know when I'm down in Mindanao. I don't remember exactly where you're at, but I'm going to be in Mindanao soon. So I'd love to get down. If I remember correctly, don't you have like a resort or something down there? And if you want, we could shoot it if you want. Let me know, man. Let me know. Horace decided to snowboard here for 5 months and 3 weeks. Yeah, brother. Only a 3-week trips to the visa agency, no EEC, then back to Florida for a bit. Okay, been here 10 days, staying with my expat uncle in Montezera subdivision. Beautiful. Yeah, brother. Yeah, good for you, man. Yeah, welcome. Yep. Yeah, Sky Pot House. Oh, wow. Huh. That sounds nice. Yeah. Shot message in there. Shot message to the community regarding renting a place that looks nice. Facebook message. Okay, yeah. Nice, dude. Yeah, I'm actually might be looking at. So I probably will keep a space here in Cebu City. I'm still just kind of figuring it out. I don't know, guys. I don't really. One of the things I really love about my life now is how spontaneous I can be. Whatever, man. Whatever. Whatever. I love that. So I don't. As my lease is up in February, I really don't have a plan or a desire to have a plan. Just whatever it takes me. I envision really keeping a spot here in Cebu City, just because of the guys that are coming here. I love meeting the guys that are coming here. So I'll probably have a place here. I'll get a studio for. I like to be around 13,000 if I can. That's on the low side. So get a studio for around 13, and then kind of come back here whenever. So but yeah, Chris, I heard crime is an issue in Cebu. I don't think so. I mean, I think like any big city, you're going to have crime. So here's the thing about crime overall in the Philippines. Like, you don't really have a lot of violent crime. You don't have that crap here, man. You really don't. You don't have shootings and, whatever. I mean, you'll have like, there's people fighting like within themselves, sometimes political fighting and things like that can be deadly. But like violence towards foreigners and stuff like that, dude, hardly ever, man. I mean, whatever, man. You'll get whiff of stuff in the news, like whatever, that foreigner was shot there at some nightclub a while back. But come on, man. That kind of crap happens like more than once a week in the West, right? Where people are getting shot and murdered and all that. You just don't have that stuff here. There is crime here, but it's more that petty kind of crime. It's more like theft and robbery and people's taking stuff and stealing stuff, right? Because it's poor. So you have that kind of stuff. The murders, the violent crimes, you just don't have here, brother. And I've never been afraid for my life, like being out in the city. I mean, let's face it, guys. You want, if you're like me, I'm 5'10", 200 pounds, dude. I'm probably like almost twice the size of most guys here. I mean, really. I mean, I look like freaking whatever, Vin Diesel or Bruce Willis or whatever, right? So I'm a bigger guy. They don't mess with you, right? They're not going to. It'd be like you going up to a freaking NFL lineman and trying to start some crap with him, right? You're not going to do that. And that's really the comparison. I mean, we're so much bigger than the average Filipino that they just don't mess with you. And not only that, but they're friendly. They're friendly. So not only are you that much bigger, where it'd just be silly for them to do so, it's just not also too in the nature, right? So I've never ever at all had any fear, like where I felt fearful physically. Now I am mindful of my surrounding, right? I'm more like fearful of things getting taken or stolen than I'm fearful for any physical violence towards me, right? Yeah, great question, Dave. Appreciate that, brother. Yeah, Morton. Yeah, good stuff. Thanks for who you are too, right? Helping out in the community group and as well as your advice and coaching to me. So Appreciate that, man. I really do. Isn't it better to buy used to avoid all the nonsense? I bought three now. I bought three now rode away that yes, I bought three now rode away the same day with insurance, still valid for 7 months on each transfer with a bike. Glenn, it's a great question. And here is my only concern about that, right? It's Filipinos typically don't, like, they do barely what's required, right? It's kind of a lazy culture in a lot of ways compared to Westerners where, dude, we go out of our way. Like, freaking oil change on my bike, dude, back in the West, I change that freaking twice a year, regardless of the mileage, right? Here, they barely change that kind of stuff, even when it's required. So that's my only concern about buying anything used, is you just have no clue if that thing was even serviced at all. And then the other thing around that is when I was looking at the pricing of used, the used price market was really almost the same as the new price market. So why would I buy something used that I don't know was even ever serviced when I could buy something new for almost the same price? So that was what I was noticing around the used motorcycle market when I was here. Now, I think there's exceptions to that, right? Where you could find maybe a foreigner-owned motorcycle or a vehicle for that matter, and the guy needs to get out of town or whatever. I think that's kind of what you want to look for. But the everyday kind of run-in-the-mill used motorcycle, I just had some really concerns about that and just didn't think it made sense financially. What map service are you using there, Chris? Yeah, great question, Joe. So a couple of things with maps that I use Google Maps, and then I'm an Apple kind of guy. I got, whatever, watch and phone and iPad and MacBook and AirPods, right? I'm a very Apple guy. So I use the Apple Maps, and Apple recently, well, I don't even know, maybe a couple years, whatever, allow you to download maps. So, but I mostly use Google Maps, and the same with that, download maps. And I highly recommend, even if you're not traveling around on motorcycle or scooter, or if you are, you're going to want to download those offline maps, gentlemen. You want to get those on your phone because you might be in a space where you really don't have service. So if you have those offline maps available, and then two, this has tripped me up a couple of times. When you're doing your map, let's see if I could show this. Let's see. I don't know if it's going to show. Whatever, let's just do this. Directions. Yeah, so when you're doing your, if you're doing this, make sure that you have this driving, right? Because I've noticed, so if, for example, so you see up here, you got driving, you got motorcycle, and you got walking, right? So if it's set to motorcycle, it's not going to pull from your offline map, and it'll say route not available. But as soon as you switch to driving, it'll start pulling from that off-road map. So, just kind of a quick tip on that, right? But that's what I use. I use Google Maps, make sure it's in driving mode. And that works for me. I do have a crap, I can't even remember the name of it. I got a Garmin, I got a Garmin GPS thing, but I can't get it to work here. I can't get the Philippines maps loaded on there. I would love to freaking use my Garmin because obviously that's satellite, right? But so right now I'm using my phone and Google Maps. Yeah. Brett. Yeah. Brett from Hastings, Michigan. Yeah, nice, man. Most of my siblings were born in Michigan, Kalamazoo area. I used to spend a lot of time in Michigan myself, Kalamazoo. I lived as a kid during the 80s, I lived in the Cleveland area. Lived in Mentor and in Lakewood. So I lived in that area, and then my grandmother lived in Kalamazoo. So we'd go to Kalamazoo, Michigan a lot. We used to go for the summers. Used to hang out at Warren Dunes. I think my dad grew up in the Michigan area. So yeah, I've been to Michigan quite a bit. I've been up to Upper Peninsula, Michigan. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, good for you, brother. Or Brenda. Good for you, sister. Man, so used to, like most of my audiences, man, and I apologize. I don't mean to not include I mean, it really is, man. I met so many families. Like I said, I met this gentleman and his mother the other night. So it is really a family channel. I apologize if I always do that. And I gotta, like, now I gotta catch myself on that kind of stuff. But I'm just a friendly dude who likes to connect with people, regardless of any of that stuff, right? Yeah. Yes, my own Buntag, Madame Aying. I hope you slept well there. I wish I was there. I should be there. I don't know what the weather is like there, but it is raining here, and I'm currently getting flood warnings from on my text message on my phone. But I mean, not that it's anything serious, right? We're just getting a lot of rainfall. But yeah, hope you're good there. Can't wait to get to Leyte. By the way, this is my girlfriend, guys, Madame Aying, Mary Rose. Hope you're good there, sweetie. See you soon. Yeah, no clutch, no go. I like it. I do like I like the clutch in my left hand and the brake in my right foot, man. When I was freaking riding the dang scooter in town, I'm constantly stepping on the floorboard because any motorcyclist who's been on a bike for a while knows how important that rear brake is on slow maneuvers, right? Just checking my battery levels here. That rear brake on slow maneuvers is key. It just, you could drag the back end, right? So that way it goes really, you can ride like 2-3 miles an hour. Just get on that rear brake a little bit, right? And it just kind of plants the bike. So freaking in the scooter, I'm stomping on the floorboard trying to get the rear brake. So yeah, I'm just a fan. And then of course downshifting and kind of that stuff with the clutch. I'm just so used to it now. I feel weird. I feel weird with with a scooter setup. I'm not comfortable with it. So I'm with you. Yeah, Super Cat. Ooh, Super Cat from Cebu to Ormoc, then ride to Bye Bye. Yeah, or what you could do, Jay, you could do that. Or you could freaking do a Super Cat right to Bye Bye. There's a port there. And there's shuttles from Cebu right to Bye Bye. I like Bye Bye a lot. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, I love that part of the Philippines, man. I just really think it's so underrated. It's not talked about. You're West Coast. You got beautiful sunsets. You've got really these gorgeous mountains. I freaking love it. And I know there's a lot of talk about storms and hurricanes that rip through there, but I think more of it heads up Samar and into Minden and Luzon. Freaking Luzon gets a lot more moisture, I think. Definitely a lot more than Cebu City. So I think this Visaya region, this southern part of even Leyte, man, especially the western coast of it, man. You got Masin, you got Bye Bye, you've got, of course, Ormoc. I'm a big fan of that area too. And like I said, easy access to Cebu. Yeah, you could do what you're talking about. So Ormoc has got like 4 ferries a day. 4 ferries a day, back and forth, man. Easy, right? Easy. Bye Bye maybe has 1 or so. Palampon, where I'm at, just has 1, but still it has 1, right? Fast craft. But yeah, yep. Yes. Hey, what's up, brother? Yeah, I bet. You guys getting some rain up there? We're getting some rain here. It's a wet couple of days coming, right? Yeah, I hope you're good up there, man. Yes. My own Buntag. Papa. Yeah, my Buntag girl. Hope you're good. Yeah, day trips to Bohol. Yeah, absolutely, Jay. I shot a video on that. I think what did I call it? Your first trip or something like that? Because I get a lot of questions from guys. Hey, I'm here in town. I want to do a trip. Where could I go? And Bohol is that easy. God, I'm a freaking 10-year-old can go out to Bohol, really. And we do. And I'm not, kind of making fun of this, but as we get here, we're kind of like in this, oh crap, right? I'm in a foreign world country, right? I'm on the other side of the world. But these are some really easy trips that you could do. Bohol is one of them. Super easy, man. Freaking go down and, hop on an ocean jet. You're there. You got people picking you up. Go to your hotel. You got a nice beach. You got some fun touristy stuff that you could do with a river cruise and Targiers and Chocolate Hills. Just do that. Bohol is just incredible. Really a big fan of Bohol from Cebu City here. Just beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. And I want to ride Bohol. That's another thing. I know I talk a lot about riding Mindanao and riding Leyte, but freaking right here in Bohol, I'm really interested in riding. Yeah, Talisay is nice up the hill. Yeah, very nice views. Yeah, no, it looks beautiful. Yeah, absolutely right, Horace. Yeah, which Talisay? I live in, right south of Cebu. Listen, yeah, yep. Yeah, just south of Cebu. Yep. Yes. Magadan Umaga. She's so cute. What a sweet girl, man. What a sweet girl. Yeah. Yeah. It's a little bit harder, gentlemen, I think, ladies and gentlemen, to find dating in Cebu City, I feel. But you get out in the provinces, man, just man, just really cool. I'm just really kind of digging being out there in those, just all of it, dating, just the people in general, just really great. And Cebu City's great too, though. It is. I don't want to paint a picture that the cities are no good. They're not. They are. They're tons of stuff here. I highly suggest. Ooh, highly suggest for your next motor trip. Let's look that up, brother. Appreciate that. Let's see where we're talking about here. Google Maps. Let me get my map back. Sorry. You said ROM Rumblehun Island? Let's see here. Yeah, let's see where that's at, man. Add the stage. Where are we at? Where the heck is that, brother? Oh, okay. Is that it right there? Dude, that's freaking tiny. I'm down. Oh, that's way north too, huh? Oh, cool. All right. I'm down. Any suggestions, man? Look at that. That looks great. Beautiful. As they say, Nindo Kayo. Yeah. Wow. Right. Yeah. That's what you got here. That's what you have here. It's all kinds of destinations. Yeah. I'm excited, man. Is that the island you're talking about or a different one? Oh my God. 7:32. Wow. I'm almost a half hour behind. Sorry about that, guys. It's kind of the intention of these lives for me. It's really just to kind of deep dive. Oh, wow, brother. Oh, man. Thanks for being here. Hey, I understand you met a buddy of mine, George. Yeah, he sent me a picture. And, yeah, thanks for being here, brother. I appreciate that. But that is really kind of the intention of these lives, man. Just really kind of deep dive into stuff, right? It's going to, like, you can't do in a comment section. You can't talk about, just kind of deep dive. So I do get behind in my comments. So I apologize for that. I do try to get through all the comments. And if I miss yours or whatever accidentally, I do apologize. It wasn't so long ago that I was on that side of the camera. Paul, I'm just blown away by you being here. Thanks, man. I'm looking to get down and do Maggetti here at some point. I want to get back down and check it out and say hi to you guys down there. So yeah, brother, thank you, man. Really appreciate you being here. It's really, really generous, as you are, man. Yeah. 1 second. Let me get some, wet my whistle. Horace, subdivision, not the common club, but Skypad house and subdivision. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Davos City. Absolutely. Weeding my plants and listening. Yeah. No, I try. That was kind of my deal too, Jamie, is I tried to, I would listen to people's lives while I was doing other crap. So I try to read out a little bit of the comments and do that so people can participate without sitting in front of the computer. Although, with the map stuff and I'm showing that, definitely makes it a little more where you, if you're connected and looking at it, it helps out a little bit, I feel. Yeah, no doubt, man. We need to get up there and, we're due for a Manila trip. There's Richard up there. There's a bunch of guys up there I want to hang out and meet, as well as, I want to get back down to do Maggetti too. I was really in talking to you about it. I was really considering going down now. But George and Karen, they're down there, and they just went to Sikihor, and I want to, so many places, right? I'm glad we got a bike now where we can go. Yeah, thank you for all the great content. Yeah, man, thank you. No, I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I've just seen that you look like someone I'd met before. No, thank you, man. I'm trying. I'm figuring this crap out as I go. But yeah, I'm trying. It's been fun. I do love it, man. It's so much fun. I mean, you gotta, it is a lot of work, but it is a lot of good times, man. Yeah. I understand. And most of the crime is more opportunistic. Yes, you're right. If you leave a bag sitting there, or if you have your money hanging out or whatever. Yeah. It is. But I've also been in situations where, I've left stuff and I've gone to the bathroom and it's all been fine. But it's nothing like the West. if you keep your Western mindset, if you keep your Western head on you, you're going to be just fine here. You'll be just fine. In that sense, like leave the crap go, but leave the protective nature there, right? Yeah, Taliso Cebu, we get a ton here on the islands. I live now in Batangas and have also not too far from where I live. Oh yeah, a couple of those. There's a lot of Santa Fe's around too. There's a lot of little ones. There's a lot of Santa Fe's. Like every island has those similar towns. Yeah. Okay, I lived in so I'll play. Yeah, nice place. Yeah, dude, I can't wait to check it out up there. Hey, Chris. Excuse me, 1 second. Yeah, I'm gonna wet my whistle here. Hey, Chris. I've heard other vloggers mention they do not want to drive in the Philippines. Yeah, between the tickets, the accidents, it's your fault. You have shoddy roads. Your thoughts? No, I mean, look, I see a little bit of that, but I love riding around this country, man. I can't imagine not riding around this country and exploring and seeing what it's like. It's just beautiful. And hopping on a bike and just going it's just gorgeous. I love it. I couldn't imagine not doing that. And there are some things you need to do to protect yourself, right? Yes, if you get in an accident, it's probably going to be your fault, right? But you're also talking, it's not going to be 50,000 US to get out of it. Maybe it's going to cost you a couple thousand, depending on how serious it is. If you damage the other person, the other vehicle, you might be asked to cover medical stuff, right? So there might be some things around that that you might have to do. But I don't think it's not like not worth driving or participating in. Another strategy, if you're going to get a car, a lot of guys down in Dumaguete do, is they have their spouse drive, right? So everything goes towards the spouse. The other thing, sorry, I'm losing my voice. The other thing is you can get cameras, right? Highly recommend, especially if you're in a car, get a camera recording system. They're common. They're everywhere here in this country, so you can get them set up pretty easily. But if you get a camera recording system that records stuff, then you can at least maybe prove it's not your fault, right? So, but for me, it's still, you're going to want it, depending on where you live. Now, if you live in Cebu City, absolutely right, brother. A car, transportation in general, is probably more of a hindrance than it is a help. So it really just depends on where. If you live down in Dumaguete, you're going to need transportation, right? If you live here in Cebu City, you don't. If you live in BGC Makati, you don't. If you live in Ormoc, you do. So it really just depends on where you're at, if it's even something you want to have. But those are concerns, and there's ways to kind of protect yourself. Yeah, driven in the past. Yeah, it just depends. Looks like your gym exercise is paying off. Had you had gains, dude? I'm doing really well. Although I've been working out, but then my running has been not as much, so my belly's coming back a little bit. So it's an uphill battle since I've turned 50. It's really, really hard, but I feel good. I feel strong. Another video that I'm going to make is, as I've talked a little bit about before too, it's really cool because it's a bunch of guys typically just hanging out and chatting, and we just talk about everything. We talk about life, and I'm going to shoot a video on this because I think it hits a lot of topics. But I kind of switched some medication around, and but yeah, man, really doing well. Yeah, gyms are paying off. I found still actively taking creatine, BCAA, and then of course, honestly, when I switched to Cialis, and I didn't realize this, but it's a big gain as well. I guess all the lifters and stuff are taking it just because of the increased vascular health that it gives you and blood flow. So anyways, I'm going to do a video on that because I think it hits a lot of topics as far as, getting prescriptions here in the Philippines, and then, just kind of the overall, Viagra versus Cialis. Look, this channel is definitely PG-13. It is. I definitely mature topics I want to talk about going to. I'm not afraid to talk about anything in a mature, respectful manner, and so I'm gonna kind of dive into that a little bit too, as far as kind of getting prescriptions, as well as my experience from switching to those two, because honestly, most of these guys, man, I'd say 90% of the guys that I've met, because we're all in a similar age bracket, we're all at least in the upper 40s, 50s, and 60s. We're all taking something, either Cialis or Viagra, to get us back to where we're dating 20-year-old women. So, PG-13, I get it. Dating a province. Yeah. Dating in the province. So dating a province girl will require you to support city, not so much. Maybe Chippy, not necessarily, but I get what you're saying. And that maybe, yeah, but not always, but potentially. Yep. Philippines is way safer, isn't it, Grant? I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. I think it is I feel safer here than I did in the West, without a doubt, man. Without a doubt. Shoot, I remember in Denver, so I moved to Denver. I moved to Colorado in the late 90s. And there's a part of Denver downtown. It's at 16th Street Mall. And it's where actually my ex-wife and I, we went on our first date. What was the name? Anyway, I can't remember. But we'd go back there every year for our anniversary and we'd have dinner. Well, by the end of our marriage, so we're talking 2010 to 2020, the place was freaking a nightmare, an absolute nightmare. People were getting mugged. And it just, so in the span of a decade, and the pandemic only made that worse, right? The United States, in my opinion, is pretty, it's a lot, I feel it's a lot more dangerous there than here, is my kind of take on it. And it's just kind of feeling, right? Yeah. Reverend in Canada, but right now, no. But I'm located in Oklahoma. My plan is next year to retire in the Philippines. Okay, good. May I open a church? Yeah, absolutely, brother. Yeah, it's a very spiritual community here. Extremely spiritual community, right? It's mainly a Catholic religion here, most of it, but there are all kinds of faiths that are out here. I've been to several churches, and I love actually the spirituality that's here. It's not something I don't go to church on a regular basis, but I really enjoy the spiritual connection and community that's here, right? And I think that's part of it why there's kind of good-natured in a lot of ways. They have a deep spiritual connection. Yeah, it's good stuff, brother. It's good for you. Hope you've done a scouting trip and you're checking it out. I agree. I could never just only rely on public transportation. I've been a motorcycle rider for a long time. Yep, love riding here. Yep, Kevin, I'm with you, man. I love it. Yeah, that's kind of one of the reasons why I want to get out of the Cebu City, as I talked about. I really just want to get connected and get out into some of these beautiful riding scenes that are just everywhere. Having access to a car with a good driver is very helpful. Sure. No, it's a good point, Horace. You speak to something too that's very possible out here. You can hire services like that. You can hire a full-time driver if you have budget for it. Yeah, no, you're right. Absolutely. Yeah, I shot you a message. Pull it up so you can see. They say in Cebu. Do I have it up there? You're right. Okay. You listing. Yeah, let's see, can I share that? Let me see if I can share that. Hold on, let me get on this other browser. So I'm sharing. Add stage. All right, yeah. Let's see, what's this about? Yeah, near event 13,000. Wow, that is so cheap. Wow, it's near Cebu City too. Wow. Yeah. Look at that, man. Yeah. So that's one of the things too, as I'm noticing, as I'm looking, although this one's furnished, but a lot of places too, they're not necessarily furnished, Yeah, they're not furnished. I'd buy all the furniture for stuff, which whatever, it's not that super cheap, but the quality isn't that good. You can see that my freaking dresser is like whatever, teal and whatever. Yes. Hey, Chris, how you doing? How much is the cost per month for a good gym there? Well, gyms are a little more. It's one of the things that's more expensive here than there in the West, right? So you're going to spend around 2,000 or so. Let's look that up. What is that? 2,000. Yeah, it's like $35, right? You're going to spend around $35 for a gym, and they're going to be half the size. They're not, some of them no air conditioning, stuff like that. So, yeah, it's a little more expensive. 756. Wow, I caught back up in the comments. Did you ever meet the famous Godfather, dude Maggette? He hangs out at Ground Zero every day. I don't know who you're talking about, the Godfather Dumagetti, but I did meet a bunch of guys. You know, like, of course, Paul, who's just on here commenting. I met Paul, incredible guy. You know, Mike and Janet. You know, we've hung out a lot together here in Cebu, even. I saw, shoot, I can't remember her name. Really sweet, beautiful girl. She's married, but really sweet girl, big smile. Yeah, Leah. I saw her and her husband there in Ground Zero. I never met Mark. I never met Mark there. I think he might have been. I don't know. I never met Mark. And there's quite a few that I didn't meet that are there now. So I'm going to get back down to Dumagetti. I for sure will. I'm due back, right? I do like it out there. It's nice. And I got friends that are out there now too. Yep. Yeah, good drivers, almost priceless. I fully agree. I would not drive in Manila, a place where I have problems to orient myself, even with Waze. Yeah, local driver is the best solution. Yeah, nice, dude. Yeah, good stuff. Yep, it is true. And you could do that. I just use Grab, honestly. Grab is so easy and convenient. It's like Uber. You know, I use Grab all the time. Really big fan of Grab. I pay $1,600 per month at a gym. Yep. It does have AC. It's not as big as back home, but it does the job. You know, you're right on, Kevin. Same. I spend around $2,000 for Anytime Fitness. The thing I like about Anytime Fitness is I can travel throughout the Philippines, and as long as there's a gym there, I can go. So it's worked out well. When I was up in BGC, I was able to hit the Anytime Fitness up there. When I was over in Iloilo, I was able to hit that there. I plan on going to Davao and General Santos. There's Anytime Fitnesses there. They're not in every city. Don't get me wrong, right? So there isn't one in Palampon. But I'm a big fan of Anytime Fitness. I've been liking that so far. My trainer, shout out to Jason, my trainer. He's from General Santos. So that's really been good too. He's been motivating me to kind of get going. Do you like McLaren? I like McLaren will snatch the constructors. Oh, do you think McLaren will snatch the constructors title from Red Bull season this year? Dude, I hope so. And I have to be honest, I've not seen a single race. But I love Formula One, man. I think like a lot of people, we got hooked on it from the Netflix series, and I did. But TV in general, I don't really watch a lot here. Dude, I am going to see a race though. Shout out to well, I actually can't say his name, but shout out to the owner here. He and I are going to go to one in Japan. We've got the accommodation set up. We got our tickets already done. We're waiting for the airline stuff to go. But I have not watched a single race. But I love Formula One, man. Yeah, good. And I'm happy to see McLaren is up there. I hope they do. I'm a big fan of McLaren. I like that. Who's the kid? Lando, right? Lando Norris just seems like a good kid. Yeah, he did that move with what's that? Carlos Sainz, where he helped him, right? His former teammate back in a race, whatever year or so ago. So yeah, I'm a big fan of McLaren. I like that. Yeah, it's so cool, man. It's good to hear Formula One stuff. Is like I said, I've been completely disconnected from it. Yeah. Big fan. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see too. I heard what's his name too? Isn't Mercedes rider Lewis? Isn't he leaving Mercedes? Isn't he going to Ferrari? Right? I thought I heard. Which, you know, I think that's a great move for Lewis. Right? Been with Mercedes for a while. It's great. Ferrari, and I don't know what Ferrari's up to, and that probably means Carlos Sainz is out, right? But yeah, man, I haven't watched much. I haven't watched any. Yeah. I wish I watched them. Yeah, I do miss it. I really do. But since over the past year, I haven't watched much at all. All right, what do we want to talk about, gentlemen? I'm all caught up, man. Wow, all caught up. What else is going on? Yeah, so kind of future stuff. Heading back to Palampon, like I was supposed to go yesterday, but with this low pressure system, we decided to postpone it. I got a group of guys I'm taking over there. I'm really excited about that. Just kind of, one of the things too I like doing is kind of getting people, you know, because most times you get people on their first trip, you take them out one time, right? So I've done this a bunch of times now. I get a couple guys, we go on a trip, we go somewhere, show them how the ferry system works, get them out going somewhere, and then they're good, right? They're gone. They've like, all right, yeah, I got it. So that's kind of what we got going on coming up. Is I've got a group of guys that I'm taking over to Leyte. We're going to do a trip over. We're going to we're gonna ride up to Danao. We're gonna take the Roro over to Isabel, and we're gonna ride up to Palampon, spend a couple days up in Palampon, and we're gonna go up to Biliran and hang out there for a couple days. So really excited about that. There'll be a lot of videos on that coming up, as kind of that whole journey. But yeah, and then Biliran is just beautiful. Oh, add that to your list for sure. Go up to Naval. Naval, though, I think it is one of those cities that has a little bit different vibe for foreigners. It's not like they're unfriendly, but they're not, they're reserved up there, right? So just kind of a heads up on that. Like, I wasn't ever in danger, but I could definitely tell it was a different vibe up there in Naval. But you do the riding all throughout freaking Biliran. Yeah, let's pull up the map, man. Let me show you guys that. Just gorgeous. Really beautiful up there. The Ulan Ulan Falls that I did was up there. Add the stage map. Yeah, up where are we at here? Yeah, so Biliran is north of Ormoc Wood. I think it was a couple hours north. And just this gentleman, ladies and gentlemen, this island is beautiful. And Naval is where I stayed quite a bit. Really cheap, right? I think it's like 600 pesos a night. It's 600 pesos. It's a freaking nothing. Yeah, $10 a night. Amazing. So I'd stay here, stay back in Naval, and then riding up this road is just beautiful. There's Ulan Ulan Falls up here that I shot some stuff on. Here's another set of falls, which wasn't as nice, but still really, really gorgeous road. And this northern part too, all around. Stunning sunsets through on this western coast. You got access to some really cool islands like Marapipi. And then there's a little island too I was at right here. Yeah, I went out here for the day. Can't wait to get back there. I mean, look at that, right? Just gorgeous. So yeah, big fan of that. So that content will be coming down here soon too, as I kind of get out. Just waiting for this low pressure system to kind of go away. Yeah, F1 TV. Yeah, I need to get that again, don't I? How much is that, Morton? Is that like $80 or so? Yeah, 80 US. I can't remember. I'll have to look at that. Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, good morning, Chris. I'm a cyclist and exclusively commute around the city by bicycle here in southern Japan. Would cycling be preferably doable in southern Negros? Yeah, I would think so. There's something about Negros, though, that I'm hearing. They have a lot more accidents out there for some reason. I don't know. Like, this is hearsay, but it's something that comes to mind right away when you talk about Negros is the cycling. Honestly, I feel Bohol would be a better option. I hear a lot of guys talking about the cycling in Bohol. Yeah, some big mountain biking communities out there, some road biking out there. But in general, I think all of the Philippines can be a little bit dicey for cyclists. I see them, though, everywhere. But people are flying through those roads. These freaking Beehires, which are these small white buses, carry about 20 or so passengers. These guys fly on the roads. The big, what do you call Series buses, the big yellow buses, they fly. So it's just, it's another level out here, but there are a lot of cyclists. And, but yeah, I think anywhere, especially if you get out of the cities, yeah, beautiful. Yeah, good for you, man. There are a lot of cyclists out here. I would definitely look for Facebook. You should be able to get hooked up with some riding communities and, get more detailed information. What did regular guy do in Angeles? Your buddy, right? Dude, I don't know. I don't really follow a lot of other vloggers. I'll check in every now and then. But now that you live here, it's different. Some things will come up on my feed every now and then. Some channels I flat out said, hey, look, don't recommend this channel. So if there is somebody you don't want to really watch anymore, you can click on the 3 dots and say, hey, don't show me that kind of content. And so some of that stuff I just I'm just not even really interested. Just because I don't want to, let's see, what do I want to say about this? Yeah, I'm not going to say much about that. But some people I'm not interested in supporting, and watching their videos supports their content. So, yeah. So anyways, there's not a lot of other vloggers out of the Philippines. I watch a lot of YouTube still, but I watch stuff like a lot of motorcycle stuff. And honestly, I watch a lot of stuff too on drones and videography and photography. But what other guys are doing in the Philippines, I'm kind of doing my thing, There is another, there's some channels too that I watch, like, I can't remember this guy's channel name, but he does, it's a silent channel. Like he's not speaking, but he does all these ferry tours in the Philippines. That I watch that stuff. But yeah, that's about it really. I don't really watch a lot of other, or really any other Filipino vloggers other than the kind of the random stuff that comes up. I think if there's, yeah. Yes. Do you charge for that, or is it just, it's just for fun? I thought about setting up a tour business, and I might down the road, but legally, that's something that I can't do right now, even if I wanted to. That would be kind of considered doing work in the Philippines, and we just have to be very mindful of that kind of stuff. So right now, I just do it for fun. It's just guys. That's the other kind of challenge for me, is I do enjoy doing it, and these are friends of mine that I'm kind of taking around. So yeah, it's just for fun. I take guys around. We'll go riding. I'm a motorcycle rider, so just for fun. New construction condo prices in Cebu are insane. I just paid, and I'm seeing them out for a 2-bedroom, 5th floor unit in Mandawi Bay. Yeah, nice. Mandawi Bay. Yeah, same price in the US. Interesting, Horace. Beautiful area though, dude. That area is that Mandawi Bay, I think, or whatever, that looks incredible there. Granted, it's probably going to be 5 years or so before, 5 to 10 years, right, before things are really done out there. That is an up and coming area of Cebu City, without a doubt. But yeah, congratulations, man. And I think you're right. I think prices here are high, and it's really weird how prices don't seem to shift either, right? Like, there's construction going up everywhere. But you're right. $500,000. It's for some of these more premier properties. It's there. Yeah, it's cheaper in the field. Yeah. I mean, good luck touching any place in the United States for $500,000 now, right? But you can still get, 500,000 US. You can get some really nice places here for sure. I'm a Mac guy as well. Yeah, I use Final Cut to edit. I use, I wish I got on DaVinci. If I could do this all over again, I would have start with DaVinci and go there. But I'm using Filmora, and I've spent so much money now and time and all that. It's hard for me to get out of it as far as editing software. But if I was starting this all over again, dude, DaVinci all day long. I see a lot of cyclists every day riding in Bohol and on the southern main highway. I see groups of them. Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, I hear that as well. Bohol is a great cyclist destination from what I get. You got some nice rolling hills, beautiful scene. You got some good coastal roads. Yeah, I hear it a lot. Yeah, also here in Batangas, a lot of cyclists, especially on weekends. The Philippines is a big cyclist country. If you're a cyclist coming here, dude, you're going to be in heaven. I think it's really just getting hooked up with those communities to find out where the best spots are. I'm not, but as we have this, community group and people talking about it, I do hear about these areas that where there's a lot of cyclists. So yeah, it's good to hear Batangas is up there, and that makes sense. Big, beautiful, sweeping roads with beautiful landscape. Paradise, right? Decent weather. And you'll adjust to that weather, right? You will adjust to it. I have, and the weather was never really a factor for me, but I can definitely tell there's guys who are coming here that are hot and warm and struggling with it, and I'm like, this is fine. Give me a fan, I'm good. Yeah. I often hear about inflation in the Philippines. Has your basic cost of living increased significantly each year? It maybe has. If a guy I do watch is a Rod from Amazing Philippines, just because he's really relevant to my area, and his content is still really helpful to me. He's talked a little bit about how in his 10 years of being here that he's seen it go up, but I think it's all perspective, right? Whatever. Maybe 10, 20%, but when you're talking about, you're spending maybe 1,500 US, a couple hundred extra bucks kind of deal. So yeah, it's there. Like, I think there's been a global inflation since the pandemic, but you're talking numbers here that probably don't impact really any of us. If you're living here where you're counting $10, $20, yeah, you have to worry a little bit. And I wouldn't recommend that type of living here. You want to be financially secure. I honestly think a good $3,000 a month budget, between $2,000 and $3,000, while that's not required, just gives you a nice living here. And gentlemen, that's what we want, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we want, right? We really do. We want this. We don't want to retire and struggle. but you can have a really nice budget, travel around, you can live in, I mean, granted, you don't need that. And I don't want to paint a complete picture. You go out and something, you live in freaking Ormoc. Yeah, you can maybe step it down to 1,500, 2,000, right? Doable. But you gotta be really careful. And I want to be really careful letting people know that, yeah, dude, you can live on 1,000, right? I think that's irresponsible for me, right? I think that, it's more responsible, hey, have a nice budget here. 36 a year, yeah, man, you're gonna live well, really well, especially if you get out in some of these areas and you can afford like a live-in person to come in and cook and clean and that kind of deal. And that's what we want, right? And then you'd have some security and you can travel around a little bit. But yeah, there is some inflation here. Yeah, I'm out of touch your time. Hold on. What's up, buddy? We're all worth 93 cents. Yeah. Make the noble views, noble eyes. Dutch. Yeah. Like, I haven't heard that song in forever. I'll have to look at more of that. Yes. I don't know if you've noticed in my comments, but I do a lot of this kind of stuff. I do a lot of musical lyrics replies, especially for the guys that are just like, whatever, off the deep end. Like, I'll often put in the Love Boat theme song. Or recently I did a James Brown, Talking Loud and Saying Nothing. Yeah, I love that kind of, I'm right with you. I do a lot of that myself. Yeah, I'll do it, just whatever, just being completely, absurd or obscure. I love it. Until not be livable for a long time, we'll be back in Florida until I can move there. All right, Horace. Yeah, man, I hope you're able to make it back soon. Really do. Okay. Definitely cheaper in the Philippines. Yeah, I had the F1 package before I moved out here. A couple years ago, I had the F1 package. I loved it. And dude, I would have that crap up everywhere. In my home, I had a big freaking 75-inch TV, and I'd have it up there. And then I had my computer situated. Dude, I had that race on like 3 different spots, and then I would change the view. Like, I'd have track view, and like I could watch other drivers. It was really fun. I really got a lot out of that. Like, I'd put my one of my views on the number 2 car, and I could watch. Well, whatever. I would put my view on wherever the race was going on. So yeah, I'm a big fan. Yeah, I like that. Being here on a tourist visa, you have no work permit. Yep. But it's better to have a permit not to work like a tourist. Yeah. It's the visa stuff is a little bit like, I'm not gonna lie. I would, it's changing a little bit. Like, I would, and I talked about this on some of my other lives recently, where, I feel that I wish it was a little bit different with the visas, where you can just kind of set and forget. And there are options, and I get where they're coming from in it. And, maybe down the road, because I am pulling the trigger kind of early, I might do the SRRV a couple years down the road. I just got to make sure I can get to 59 and a half. And then also, a player and his brother were hit. My dad hit the DD drunk driver 2 nights ago in New Jersey. Yeah, cyclists beware in the Philippines, especially at night. No, good point, Chippy. And I think that goes in general. Like, the night driving here can be sketchy for a lot of reasons. And the sun sets early, 6 p.m. and the sun sets. So you really want to be careful after sunset. You got drunk drivers, you got animals on the road. The dogs and animals typically come out on the edge of the road. So yeah, driving at night can be a little bit of a challenge. Yep. Yeah, Morton, I pay $85 a year in the U.S. I think that's what I was paying too. I can watch archive races. Yep, that's what I was paying too. I get to see practice. Yeah, same. Yep, yeah, that's exactly what I was doing too, brother. I'd have that up on a bunch of different. I had it on my iPad, my big TV, and then on my computer. So I was just I would have it all throughout. It was really fun. I do miss it. We talk about just incredible racing. I mean, they make left and right turns. Oh, I could never get into any kind of racing before that, man. If I did, it would be like nap TV. Like, I would turn it on and then like put me to sleep, like golf, Oh man, yeah. I see cyclists riding from Taal Lake up to Tagaytay. Yeah, it's super steep. long winding affair. Yeah, I really admire those guys and their stamina. Yeah, I mean, dude, I lived in Colorado, in Boulder for, more Olympic athletes per capita, I think, than any other place in the world. I think at least it used to be. You'd watch some of these guys freaking climb up, steep, like whatever, hour long ascents. Just absolutely nuts, man. Yeah, I read about that. The drunk driver killed. One was angry. He had to spend Labor Day weekend in jail. It's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. What are you guys using to watch TV channels back home, and NFL games or just shows? Yeah, I don't watch a lot of TV at all. So, but yeah, you can get stuff online, right? There are some streaming services. Like I know some guys that were talking about football and stuff like that. They sign up, but I don't really. I kind of stopped watching TV back in the early 2000s. I got rid of my cable and pretty much did online stuff. So, but yeah. Hey, Chris, just caught your live stream. Are you back in Cebu? Yeah. What happened to Palawan? Yeah, no, Russell, I'm back in Cebu. I was actually scheduled to go out to Palawan yesterday, but due to this low pressure system that's sitting out there, I decided to just kind of wait for this to burn through, because we were looking to do a bunch of riding, like, all through kind of southern Leyte. I'm taking a group up to Biliran. So we just wanted some drier weather before we head out, but I'll be back. And my long-term plan around Palawan is to really split my time. So go in between Cebu and then Leyte and do some more stuff out of Leyte. And then Mary Rose graduates in May, and maybe even go out to maybe even more Ormoc, which is still nearby, but maybe over down to Davao City, set up a place down in Mindanao in May, and then do some riding around through down through there. So it's kind of the long-term plan. Yeah, let's take a look here. I want to look at one other thing really quick. I'm just on one of my screens. Yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of the why I'm back in Cebu City, and I'll still be. I mean, I have a beautiful place here, right? Big 2-bedroom, 2-bath. I mean, how many square meters? 96 square meters. Massive condo, and beautiful part of Cebu. So, yeah, I still like being here, and then of course meeting the guys. There's a lot of guys here, a lot of new guys too. I've met in the past couple of weeks. I've met half a dozen new guys, maybe, that are coming in and out. So I still love being here in the city, and it's nice. It's all right. It's all right. Yeah. Yeah. To whip the F1 horse one more time. Yeah, V10 area. Turn up the speakers. I'm like, I love it, man. I do. I mean, come on, man. It's motorcycle racing at its finest. I mean, these guys are amazing. The drivers, the technology, the crew. I mean, and I'm a technology geek, and I'm also like a perfectionist geek, right? So that type of quality, it speaks to me. I get a lot out of that. So it's not like they're racing horses and carriages, they're racing, these multi-million-dollar vehicles, and so much technology built into it, and engineering, and the crews. And I'm a big fan, and the tracks, and, I love it, man. I love it. I can't wait to go to the race. I'm really excited about that. I'm fortunate here. Yes, I'm fortunate here to have allows me to see English Premier League. Yeah. No, another guy, he does the same thing. He gets some TV stuff, or he gets some, same thing. He's into football and likes watching, and you can check it out. Like the TVs, the sports bars and stuff like that will have a lot of that on there. Yep. Yeah, you have. Yeah. My internet service came with a cable box, so I don't have a TV down there in Palawan. I'll probably get one. Yeah, it's fun. You see a lot of football / soccer, right? You see a lot of that on the TVs here. Yeah, it's really common, more than American football, and I think some of that is based on timing, the time of the day where that's on. Whatever, in the afternoon, 3 in the afternoon, your time in the United States, so that's 2-3 in the morning here. So, right. So I'm like you. I have 2 motorcycles. I recently got XR 150L. Wow, nice. Great lightweight motorcycle that I prefer on the back roads, just getting around town and wet, muddy roads. Man, I would love to get something like that. You know, honestly, what I'd probably like to get is the Kawasaki, what's that, 300, the KLX 300? Is that what it is? Yeah, I'd like to get that bike for some off-road stuff. That would be really fun. It's got a nice, really good suspension. Uh, yeah, yeah, I could see having some bikes. I could see having some bikes out here. It'll be fun, man. Stay tuned. I'll be having some bikes. As things grow and develop in here, you know, and I'm not worried financially, but I definitely have to keep an eye financially. But if that changes, you know, there's one of the things that'll be around that is more motorcycles, for sure. And then just getting more gear. I didn't bring any really. I've got my climb, we call Marrakesh gear. So I've got some gear, but I don't have any boots. I wish I would have brought my boots, man. I have a brand new pair of motocross boots, brand new pair. And, you know, those are, I think I spent 500 US on those, maybe even more, maybe 600 US, 700, I can't remember. But I wish I would have brought those with me. Because, you know, if you're doing any kind of off-road riding, even just mild adventure riding, you know, it's your lower leg that is susceptible to damage more than any other part of your body. So I wish I would have brought those with me. Oops, let me go back to that. Sorry. So do you have a long-term lease for the condo in Cebu? How much is the rent like? So Russell, I do have a long-term lease in the current place that I'm in, and I'll have been here a year. And that's kind of the way to go, honestly, if you can do it, is I would say 6 months to a year. Once, you know, so yes, and let's back up a little bit, right? So once you're here in Cebu, most places aren't going to want to rent to you month to month. They're just not. They're going to want to do at least a 6-month lease. And so when I first moved to Cebu, I did sign a 1-year lease. And I got lucky, though. You want to be really careful with signing that kind of long term because you want to make sure that the noise and there's so many factors that the unit's okay. You know, the last thing you want to do is go into a place, sign a 1-year lease, and a week later find out, oh my gosh, I can't even be here. So I got really lucky. I signed a 1-year lease in my first place in Selenia. Love that place. It worked out well for me. The rate was so good. I got it for, I think, 20,000 pesos for the studio. So I was like, yeah, I'll take a 1 year. But that's not maybe the best strategy. But I would do a 6 months lease, and then that's kind of I think the ideal time frame of it. And if you get in, whatever, you can move around. But yes, I have a long-term lease. And then so the rent here, so the rent is usually for a studio, you're going to pay, 1,000 pesos per square meter. So, you know, between 20 and 30,000 is a typical cost for a studio. When you get up in the 1-bedrooms, you're going to be between 25 and 35. And some of these more premier places are going to be 40K and above. So the place I'm in now it's the Beverly Hills. It's so immaculate here. It's really beautiful. I mean, my neighbors are actually actors and actresses. So it's really that level of community. And the place I'm in currently now rents for like 80,000 pesos. So yeah, that's kind of the price ranges here in the city. But you could really get a place between a studio between 20 and 30 and a 1-bedroom between 25 and 35, depending on the quality, right? Have you done a video on your backstory, how you learned to live this life now? Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I haven't really. I mean, I talk a little bit about, especially on the lives as people ask. Yeah, I haven't really gone into too much. Like, yeah, I mean, a little bit. I mean, that first video, my big video, why I moved to the Philippines, I think kind of goes in a little bit of my backstory, right? And it's been a while since I shot that, right? A year and a half, but I've done a video on that. You know, I was IT guy for a law firm for most of my 20 years, for one firm in particular for like 16. But yeah, I moved to Colorado in the late 90s to get into IT work and found my way into that. And, you know, had a pretty serious motorcycle accident several years ago that really kind of fast forwarded my move to the Philippines. You know, I got divorced in 2019, and then right after that, like 2020, I got in a bad accident, and I was like, I'm out, I'm done, and couldn't do it anymore. But after the divorce, I really started looking at, all right, I'm kind of done with the West, and not that really the dating. I just was done. I wanted financial freedom, You know, I was done. And then the accident really fast forward to that where I was like, I can't go back. It was like, boom, a line was drawn for me. It's like, I can't do this anymore. I almost died. Right. So it just woke me up to, I can't do another day of it. And so that's really what happened around all that. But yeah, I mean, I've maybe done a couple videos and then this kind of stuff, right, where we talk about it on a live. But yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for asking. You can buy an Android box there and take it home. Depends on your internet speed. Okay, yeah, dude, my freaking province place, amazing internet. I got like 400 down and 400 up, man. It's freaking. I got fiber to the jack. I've never had that kind of connectivity. Never. I've had great connectivity and great service in the United States, but dude, it's twisted pair right to my jack, right? So whatever. I mean, but here I got freaking fiber to my jack, man. That's amazing. I was blown away when I saw that. It's like, serious? The freaking fiber connection, fiber cord, fiber cable right into my, all the way down to my modem. Wow. So cool. Hey, Xavier, what's up, man? Yeah, I'm already love your vlogging and great to see you riding and drone shots everywhere you go. Keep up the great work. Ride safe. Thank you. Hope you're good there too, brother. Yeah, hope you're good, man. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Yeah. Hey, Chris, 4 days and I'm back in Cebu. All right, Troy. Yeah, nice, man. Yeah, look me up. I probably won't be here in 4 days. We're supposed to be gone now, but over in Leyte. But yeah, man, safe travels. Hope the flight goes well. I know that's a trip, right? Oof. Yeah, that motorcycle is inexpensive too. Only 9,600 pesos. It has a good seat for you and a passenger. The CRF is too tall and the seat is very narrow. All right, yeah, good to know, Kevin. The CRF, while it's tall, it's got a lot of sag in it. So as soon as you get on it, I mean, it just drops. But the CRF doesn't have the greatest suspension. You have to swap out that suspension. That's kind of why I like the KLX 300 bike. I think it's a KLX 300 by Kawasaki. I think it's a little bit better bike. Yeah, a little bit. I'd like to get a good dual sport, or if you just freaking go buy an adventure bike like the Himalayan that can do it all. I don't know, man. My OCD is kind of strong where it's hard for me to move away from right tool, right job, you know? So I kind of feel like I need two bikes. Yeah, no, thanks, man. Yeah, thanks for being here. Is it impromptu live? I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate guys being here. I usually go right around 2 hours and we're at that mark. And, you know, people are dropping a little bit too. So whatever. It's fine. I had a 1995 Vulcan Kawasaki in Korea for 8 years. Hard to find good mechanics, but I love that bike, dude. My first bike was the Vulcan S650. So yeah, another bike, fun bike. It was hard to ride though, right? Because the forward pegs, all the pressure on the tailbone. Oh my gosh, I was dying on that bike after a while, but I loved it, man. I had a Two Brothers exhaust on there and a Power Commander, so it was a lot more alive. That little 650 engine's really, really good. They have it in the Versus 650. Yeah, they use that engine throughout. So really, that was a fun. You might have had a different CC because I do also have I think 1,000 CC on the Kawasaki Vulcan. But yeah, I had the Vulcan S650. I love that bike. It was my first bike. I had a good time with it, man. I did a lot of riding on that. What a sound, man. I could imagine that bike here. That Two Brothers exhaust. Oh my gosh. It was really, really fun. Hey, James. What's up, brother? Nice to see you. We're on your Tanneray back home. Was I on my Tanneray back home when I had my accident? No, actually, I was on my Duke. So I was on my Duke. It was day before Martin Luther King Day. So what, January 15th? And I was riding. I was coming home from the gym. I was going to a restaurant. And I was riding, and I was coming up to an intersection. I was in the right lane. It was a two-lane, traffic going 2 lanes this way. I was in the right lane, and the left lane had like, I don't know, maybe 12 or 15 so cars. And I was in the right lane, and the right lane had one car at the light, right? I was coming up to it. I get to the back of the traffic, and the light turns green, and there's, whatever, I'm 15 cars back, right? So I don't really slow down. I have plenty of time to slow down. The light just turns green, and a car in the back of this left lane pulls right out in front of me. And I had no time. I think I had maybe a car length. I think I had less than a car length. And I'm going, close to 50 miles an hour. So there's a Subaru hatchback. So I went right into the back of the windshield. Actually, my bike hit the car and went into the back of the hatchback, right? And then came back out and fell down. I remember most of it. Like, I remember hitting the car. I remember hearing the plastic and seeing everything break around me. But then I blacked out, and then I remember hitting the ground. So the impact I blacked out for, but everything else I remember. So yeah. But I was not on my Tanneray. I was on my Duke, the 790 Duke. So, which is amazing because that bike is nimble as crap. I just had no time. I had no time. Like I said, maybe a car length, if that. It's crazy. Pretty wild, man. I'm actually kind of surprised I'm riding again. Maybe it's because I'm living here. It's like, that happened in the West. But yeah, I'm still very cautious. Still, which is good, right? It's a wake-up call. Thankfully, I woke up, but yeah, no problem. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate it. Yeah, one secret to key to health and happiness is up at sunrise. Dude, I'm up at 5 every day. Bet a few hours after sundown and no blue light from phones after taking into account. Yeah, it's really kind of been interesting, right? Like, I'm, kind of whatever. I have a hard time even saying this because it doesn't really hit in. I'm retired, right? 50, 52. I'm 53 now. I'll be 54. I'm retired, but yet I'm still up at 5 every day. I like getting up. I like, being like a part of the day and seeing what's going on. I like to be up to stuff. And like, there's like a calling for me, I feel, still in my life where I'm just like, oh, wow, what do I want, what do I want to do? What do I want to see? What do I want to create? Right. So there's very much of that, but I'm with you, man. I think another key to health and happiness is just being really clear on the subjective nature of just everything that's around us. And that we have a choice at any moment to choose who we want to be, right? That is super key, man. And it's easier to do in an environment like this where it's happy and healthy, right? People are friendly, people are happy, but you can do it anywhere. But those are things for me that's also been really, really key. In DK, it's all this fiber in Denmark, the fiber connection is 500. Yeah, dude, I'm just here. I don't have that here in Cebu City. I've got like whatever. I got like 100 down. I got maybe 10, 15 up, right? It's the twisted pair connection, not full duplex. But even, back during the pandemic, right? We tell people you need at least 25 down and preferably 50 down to really work from home. And I believe that. I believe you can work 50 down is more than enough for most people to pull full HD and all that stuff. You probably won't have any buffeting on a lot of that. And 100's good, 100, but anything probably more than 100 is pretty overkill for most applications. I feel you're going to be able to pull more than enough down. But up, on the other hand, that's the nice with freaking fiber. You got full duplex connection, man. You're going up and down those same speeds. And for me, trying to upload video content, dude, having that 100 or 400 up, man, I love it, man. Freaking love that. It's so much time saved uploading videos up to YouTube or all my stuff that I'm doing now. How do you work out when you're not in Cebu? Yeah, it's a great question, Russell. So one of the things that I'm noticing here in Cebu, even some of these small province towns, they have gyms. I was in Toledo. I was in a gym out there. In Palampon, when I move out there, I'm going to sign up. There's a local gym. I've already cased it out. I'll be working out there. So you just sign up. And if you have like Anytime Fitness, as I was sharing earlier, when you're traveling around, Iloilo's got Anytime Fitness, Davao City, General Santos. There's a Anytime Fitness in BGC. So if you get it hooked up in a chain, if you're traveling some of the bigger cities, Anytime Fitness might be there. So that's kind of what I do. And then, when I was running, I just put on my shoes and ran. Admittedly, though, I haven't really been running over the past 3 or 4 months. I'm looking to maybe, and I don't know if I want to run. Just the impact on my joints and stuff as we get older. I don't know, man. I'm thinking about maybe moving towards more to an elliptical as a cardiovascular strategy. I definitely need to do cardiovascular work to try to help with my weight. But I mainly do strength training and have been done strength training most of my life. So, but yeah, that's kind of what I do. At gym, I don't really do a lot of at-home stuff. I know a lot of people did that with the pandemic. I did have a Peloton in the United States. I'd love to have a Peloton out here. Honestly, you can't get them, at least to my knowledge. If anyone knows how to get a Peloton without shipping one in, I'm just on their website. I'd love to get that row machine. I'd love to have a row machine. But then again, you get more of a base at that point, right? A home base, which I'll have. I'm just not quite ready there yet. I'll have. Yeah. Yeah, straight to Negros or Occidental for me. Up down Salvador, beneficial for a bit. Still thinking about the V-Strom 250. Troy, you know what, Commander Dot, right? Shout out to him. And God, that is a guy I would love to meet, right? Just to pick his brain about his videos. I'm just a big fan of his work, his videography, how he puts his videos together with the music. And he's just true. I'll get there someday. So I'm sure you're aware. He rides that V-Strom 250. Looks like a great machine. It looks just a little bit underpowered though, brother. My only concern. A V-Strom 400, right? Yeah. So below the 650, above the 250. Come on, Suzuki. Give us that 400, 450. I do. I think 650. I think above 500 is too much. I think the 650cc, maybe, I don't know, man. Maybe 650cc. I'd love to see a 400. I'm with you. A lot of people love that bike. They love that bike. But for off-road stuff, that's what I'm saying. I think the 650 is too much for off-road. Yeah, maybe 250 is okay. I need to get on it. I think a buddy of mine, Scott, down in Iloilo, he bought one. Yeah, I need to get on it. Yeah, good for you, Troy. Yeah, nice, man. If you get up early, you have way more energy in the morning sun. Yeah, I love it, man. I love the mornings. I am. Madame Aing. Oh, wow. I thought you were 32. Yeah. Dude, isn't this amazing? Guys? And my girlfriend. She thinks I'm 32 years old. I mean, she knows how old I am, right? But she's like, you don't look your age. You don't act your age. Oh, that might not be such a good thing, not acting my age, but it's just kind of how we get to feel here. We just get to feel so much younger. We have these, beautiful, young, loving, kind women who are into us and just make us feel great. We all know those stories, but here it's happening for me. So thank you, Madame Ayang, for being that person. Thank you. Something to do, someone to share with, yeah, and something to look forward to. Yes, insights. Yeah, the 3 needed keys to open the door. And contentment and hope. Yeah, no, good stuff, brother. You bring up something though that I think we all need to, as we're looking to come here, we all need to do. We need to have a clear. Sorry, I need to move my charge. We need to have a clear, defined, not only budget, right? That's on our radar, but we need to have a clear thought about what the heck we're going to do with our time, right? I mean, seriously, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, the last thing that we want to do is to get here and to be bored, man. I'm telling you, because what'll end up happening is you'll go to like either women or dating as a way to occupy your time, or you'll go to bars, or you'll go to some vice, man. So have a strategy. What the heck am I going to do with myself, right? Have it be very clear. I'm going to go to the gym and work out. I'm going to do this or whatever. I'm going to get into photography. I'm going to get into whatever, right? Whatever it is. I'm going to get into pickleball. Whatever it is that you're going to do, have that in place, gentlemen and ladies. Really though, but it's really, I think, important for us. And I think that goes for any retirement, right? If we sit around and kind of do nothing, we can get ourselves in trouble and oftentimes do things that aren't as healthy for us, right? Get into unhealthy ways of being. Yeah, so go on that. Dreams of respect. Don't let your elevated dopamine levels butter skin divas. Yeah. You got to be careful. Yep. I'm with you, man. You got to have a good strategy about what to do here. Why don't you tell your viewers the truth? 90% of PNAs are looking for a foreigner. Oh, have a plan to use them like a dog for money. Oh, let's see. I don't see that as truth. I don't. I don't, man. I think Stella is Stellar. I think you've never been here. And I think that um, maybe you have. It's for limited times. I think any person who's lived here for more than a couple of weeks knows that that's not the case. And I think that could be the case in Thailand. It could be in maybe other parts of the world, but not the Philippines. Um, yeah, it's just not the case here, man. It's not. I feel like if you're looking for a wife or a girlfriend, I don't think there's a better place in the world to come. I really don't. And granted, that's not why I moved here. I moved here for financial freedom and to kind of refocus on things. But as far as the relationships and to say that 97% of the women here are just after money and stuff, I'd say completely inaccurate in my experience. Now, I would go to say that they want security, right? And financial security is an aspect of that. But I think all out of all the Filipinas that I've talked to, but really what they want, it is a security, but it's also this emotional security. If you talk to Filipinas of why they want to date foreigners and why it's there, financial aspect is part, but also too, they're just looking for a more mature man, someone that they can trust emotionally, right? They want emotional security. They want someone that they can trust in that capacity. You know what I'm saying? Financial is an aspect without a doubt, right? You'd be blind if you would say it's not. But to say that it's all about that or 90%, 97%, I disagree with that point of view. As someone who's living here and not only seeing my own relationships, but other relationships and how they are, right? I don't see it as accurate, but you can definitely have that opinion. I agree. More than 500cc is not needed. It's not like riding around back home. Riding the roads is very different here. Kevin, it is. It is such a different riding experience. And I was really shocked by that. I wasn't expecting it how it is. And it is. It's just slow speeds and stuff. Light, agile bikes is the way to go. Something comfortable. Something, though, that you can stand up on, I see as key. Because then you can change your riding position. I mean, even on the CB 500, or yeah, the NX 500 that I'm on, my butt gets tired after some time, but I can stand up on that bike. I can stand up. I can change my riding position. I can stretch. So having a bike you can stand up on, the V-Strom probably 250, you can stand up on, right? That's really, really, I think, a key deal here too. More than 500, yeah, overkill. Yeah, so you're really looking below, between 3 and 500, and thankfully, we have a lot of bikes in that category now. Royal Enfield, CF Moto, Honda, whatever. Honda's got some. There's a lot of bikes, man, that are getting pumped. Triumph, KTM. They all got bikes in that 3 to 500 range. So that market's really expanding, which Rockstar, right? Awesome. Cove. Yeah, it's BS to say to get more money off you, to give to mom and pops. Yeah, well, it can be. Look, I'm not denying the fact that the money is part of it, but to say that that's the reason, 97%, I disagree. From what I'm seeing, from living here, from interacting with the Filipinas that I've been with, it's not the case in any of my relationships. It's just not, right? It's not what I see. But I get from your view, that you have that, but and it's also, dude, it's not the perspective of any of the guys that I know, right? So it's just not what I see, brother, or sister. 32. He's already that old. I know, right? Oh yeah. I know. Crazy how time flies, man, isn't it? Man, yeah, wild. Yeah, I want a Suron. What the hell is a Suron? The hell is that? Let's look. Suron. Huh? A bike? Or is that a place where you want to go? I want to surround. I don't know what that is, brother. Hey, Chris, I've been watching your videos since day one. Thank you, Mike. You know, one of the things that, oh, wait, hold on, let me keep reading. You're a major inspiration to me to move over there. Thank you for all your videos information over the past 2 years. No, thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate that deeply, deeply. I've met some guys recently. You can always tell when people watch, you know, because they'll make comments that you think people don't even really realize. And yeah, so I've met a lot of guys recently. I've been watching from the beginning, and just thank you. You know, really, I do this channel for me and to keep myself busy and occupied, and to, you know, kind of, you know, autobiography in some ways, right? I can look back and reflect on, but you know, I do this channel a lot for you guys, and to kind of just show what it's like out here, and to get feedback like that from others that they enjoy. I just, man, I really, I appreciate it. So thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate it. And if there's something you want me to shoot more of, like what you want to see or do, let me know, right? Like, you've seen this channel change and progress over the past going on 2 years. Let me know, man, if there's something that you would rather me see, or like you see videos that that you really enjoy. But, and amen. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Mike. I really do appreciate that. I'm not sure if off-road riding here in the Philippines is a good idea. I consider the chances for an accident too high. And if you are off any access in many times, so help will be hard to come by. I'm with you. It's kind of why I don't do a lot of it too. You know, especially coming from Colorado, I was getting into the adventure riding in Colorado, and I had actually I brought it with me, but it's probably no good out here, right? The little SOS kind of deal. So yeah, it's you don't want to ride alone anywhere, especially off road. And I'm riding alone, so I would ride out with off road if I had a bigger riding community of people. But I'm with you, and I don't have the gear, so that's kind of why I bought the NX500. Is my riding is all pavement because of those reasons. I don't want to do a off ride by myself. I don't really have the boots out here to do off road stuff, and so I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I'm the same boat. And guys, let's face it. You know, when you ride off road, you're going to come off the bike, right? It's one of those clear things that the shift from riding on road to off road is you come off the bike. You know, granted, you're riding slow and then you're dressed for it, so it's not a big of an issue. But coming off the bike 50 and above, it hurts. So I'm just not sure if I want to be doing that kind of riding. Just forget it. Give me the pavement. Give me the beautiful sunsets on the coast. Give me that type of riding all day long. The coming off the bike, you know, where I'm riding and, you know, nah. I think those days are over. Yeah, man, you're right. Have some way to occupy your time. It will be in the gym, editing video, and doing digital artwork for people. Yeah, man, right on. Yeah, yeah, I like your image there. I can see your. I'm actually learning to get into a little bit. I need to take some course on Canva, and there's some. Hey, my last couple of thumbnails, I just kind of was throwing stuff together on that kind of thing. But yeah, man, I'm with you, man. It's just it's important for us to stay busy and do stuff. For me, it definitely is. I'm very much a chameleon, and I really take things on. Right, I don't really do a lot of things half-ass. I really go after stuff, and that's great when you're talking exercise and gym. Not so good when you're talking like drinking in bars and dating, right? So I need to make sure that I focus that energy towards good things. So invite all of us to do that kind of stuff, even if you're not like me, where you can kind of go overboard on stuff. But yeah, I'm with you, man. Yeah, good for you, Troy. What do you think of the Avida Riela condos and IT Park? Russell, I think they're great options. So there's a couple of those Avida. I think the Riela, those are the new ones, right? So you got the old Avida towers that are right across from the Supermercado, which I stayed at when I first moved to Cebu, and they're fine. They're okay. Yeah, they're all right. They're run down, which kind of goes along with buying. Do you really want to buy? Is they don't necessarily maintain stuff. So anyways, yeah, the new Avida towers look great. They're still building them. Look, you know, awesome. Great part of town, just right outside of IT Park, right there. You're easily walking distance to everything and anything. So highly recommend it, as far as a place to stay, an Airbnb, a place to rent from. Um, Rockstar. You can't, in a lot of ways, it's perfect. 38th Plaza is right next door to there too, which is brand new. Yeah, I'm a fan of the newer Avita towers. The older ones are all right. They're just a little bit run down. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I've lived here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, dude, I have a different view on the dating, and I just don't see it the way you do it, and that's fine. You could see it your way. I could see it mine. Um, and that's it. I don't see them as after the money exclusively. And I'm not going to deny it's an aspect of it. I just don't. I see it differently, brother, and that's fine. Yeah, yeah. We'll skip over all that. We will agree to disagree. I have different views on that. It's fine. When a person can't find a deep sense of meaning, they distract themselves with pleasure. Yep. Yeah, man. I'm with you. Yep. Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. It's so key and important to have something there to occupy, right, our time. And for me, physicalness has been a critical aspect of that throughout my life. Yeah, they have their views, but whatever, man. That type of thinking, to me, it's pretty disconnected and it's very limited. And I almost feel like that type of person has just been burned. And look, there are bad dating experiences here. There really are. I mean, you hear about them all the time, and that kind of deal. But it's just someone who's kind of burnt out on the dating experience. It's not at all accurate as far as my experience. Yes, there is an aspect of financial stability, but there's also a bigger aspect. Every Filipino that I've dated, they've wanted emotional stability more than the financial. I mean, it's there. You can't deny it's not there, but it's not all about that. But I also feel too, gentlemen and ladies, that it is the big piece between the Philippines and Thailand. That's what makes me think this person's more in Thailand than they are in the Philippines, because those relationships, a lot more transactional, a lot more. You're talking dowries, all that stuff, right? Here, man, it's not the case, right? Yeah. Your cycle accident sounds like something more likely to happen in the Philippines. No hesitation in changing lanes, pulling out in front of you. That's a, you know, that's a great, that's a great point of view, right? It is that is a great point of view. It really is. And what I see, hold on, I just got distracted for a second. So the difference here, John, between that is the awareness. And I've talked about this in some of my riding videos. Like they're just so much more aware to two-wheel riders than they are in the West. In the West, they're not. They're really not used to motorcycles on the road. It's a minority. Here in the Philippines and really in Southeast Asia, there's so many more two-wheel riders. They're everywhere. So motor vehicles are much more used to you being there, either around them or that. And honestly, I find the lane changing in the United States was, and just the overall awareness of drivers is not there compared to here. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. I don't mind people. I think I blocked or muted that person. I don't mind people with opposing views, but like, look, man, just have some common sense, right? I mean, right? If you're just gonna spew crap for the sake of spewing crap, I mean, come on. And I think anyone who knows this channel, anyone who's been around, knows that that's just not the case. They just don't. This is people who are committed to chaos. These are people who, exactly why I left the West, right? Just people who want to stir shit. I don't have really patience for that. I respect people with opposing views on stuff, but when you're talking in absolutes, and when you're talking in certainties, and everyone's like this and that, it's like, come on, man. You really don't have a clue of what it's like here. You really don't. Not with that way of thinking, right? Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I've had bad joints, and you're right. I get good cardio on the elliptical with no joint problems. Stephen, that's kind of the direction I'm looking to go to. Is just do more of that type of exercise, more elliptical stuff. Yeah, I know. I kind of remove that person. I just like, it's just, yeah, they're just here to create chaos. It's unfortunate. Some guys look at the money as you can take it with you, and others look like, yep, share coupons. Likewise, the same goes for women. Some share, some charge. Yep. Yeah. Yep. I think it's a bar study. Yeah. Has Mark Thornton punched anyone lately? I have no idea. I don't really watch. I don't really like interview kind of content. I know people ask me all the time when I see them, hey, let's do an interview and stuff like that. It was never, I never was an interview kind of guy. I don't, I like, because of my hyper way or whatever, I like to be more engaging, more out there in my videos, and just kind of sitting around and talking about the weather stuff. I just kind of find that crap boring. So I don't really do a lot of it. Every now and then I'll do some stuff, but I just don't. Hey, what's up, brother? What's up, man? Hey, we should get some breakfast in a little bit. Yeah, you want to do, we should do 10:30 at Bo's Coffee if you want. Yeah, man. Good morning. I woke up this morning and I had a gym appointment with a trainer. I was about to walk out the door and realize it was Sunday. All right. Sunday and rainy, man. This is one of the guys I'm traveling out with to Billy Ron and Lette. So really excited about kind of cruising with you, man. It'll be good times, man. It's going to be fun. Looking forward to it. Yes. Mobile price guaranteed. It's kind of a bar scene. Yeah. There's a bar scene out here. Whatever, man. I quit drinking back, 2015? And so whatever, man. I still go and hang out and go bars. I'll have an NA beer every now and then. But yeah, definitely something I'm glad I'm not bellying up to a bar every day here in this country, man. It can be dangerous. Okay, yeah, the e-bike goes 40 miles an hour stock. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, that would be, I can see e-bikes out here being a good deal. Yeah, no, I'm excited to check those out. Yeah, I think I might have. I accidentally banned that person. I didn't mean to ban them. I just can sound it here. You see here, but I meant to just kind of mute them. I don't know. Whatever. You're the wrong dot. Yeah, sorry about that. I must have banned that person. My bad. My bad, Sel. I didn't mean to ban you, but I did. Hey, you can still watch. You lose the right to participate in the comments. So you can still watch though. Yeah, from Davao. Yes, you look like Bruce Willis. So my old work, they called me Bruce. That was my name. Hey, Bruce, what's up? Yeah. I read Victor Frankl back in the 90s, back in 96. I think the video was seek pleasure. Seek life is best after mastering your center. From work comes play and pleasure at the highest tier. Yeah, dude. I just got the made up, the completely subjective nature of all of it. Really, just every single piece of it, and how at any moment we can really just choose. That's kind of for me. It's the big breakthrough. Yeah, and just I would say just like the responsibility, right? Like we're responsible for it all. Yeah, just the responsibility of it. Yeah, responsible for all of our emotions and feelings. There's another thing I was kind of looking at around that, but yeah. Anyways, yes, Madame Ing, my own dog. I just want to take the opportunity to say a big thanks to everyone for supporting my handsome boyfriend since day one and showing how much y'all care and a fan of him. Oh, thank you, sweetie. Alamat kaayo. Yeah, no, it's been fun, right? I know you probably were freaked out in the beginning, especially because we launched that one video when we're laying in bed. But, you've had a great attitude from the get-go. You've just been laughing at it all and smiling. So I really appreciate you and your attitude towards it. It's a good time. It's so guys, when she's here, because she'll come out. She was just out here a couple weeks ago. She had a long weekend, so she came out for the weekend. And, we're from one coffee shop to the other, meeting guys. And at the end of the day, I mean, we'll get up and we'll have no plan for the day. And then we'll get back home and it'll be 9, 10 o'clock at night. And we're just both like exhausted. So just really fun, man. Really good times here in the city. Different life, but fun. If you hit a bike as a car driver, you are in a bad position. That's why most bike accidents happen, because of speeding of bikes. Yep. Yeah. If you hit a bike as a car driver, you're in a bad position. Yeah. No, that was kind of one of the things too, dude. Honestly, with my accident, I was in the wrong part of the road too. So when I talked about it, right, I was in the lane. Where's the camera at? I was in the lane. So I was in the left part of the lane. If I was in the right part of the lane, I may have been able to get away from it. Yeah, I was in the wrong part of the lane. So, yeah. Because when that car came over, dude, I had nowhere to go. But I don't know, man. If I was even in that right part of the lane, she probably would have sideswiped me, and then I would have been flying, which I don't know. I could have died that way. Who knows? In theory, that would have been probably safer because I wouldn't have had an abrupt impact, right? But yeah. No, it is, man. Happens like that, though, right? Man. When you see a male yard animal, when you see the same beach who's 18 and loves you, just got to remember they're blue light toxic. It ruins natural melatonin and dopamine. That's why. Yep. Yeah, you got to turn your stuff off at night, right? So you can go to sleep. I'm so happy knowing that all the guys. Oh yeah, the guys here so happy that he gives you inspiration to be here, loving the Philippines. Yeah, that was one of the things she's pointed out too. She is present to, are the guys here, and how, a lot of the guys are similar mindset that I'm meeting. They're, hey, we just want to chill, want to hang out, want to have fun. We're focused on exercise. And so, yeah, we've been meeting a lot of great dudes lately. And it's fun, right? It's fun to see these guys show up like that. Yeah. Mark Doc's Zoom to the BOI. Oh, so I did hear about that, which is kind of scary, Kenny, if that's really what happened. It's kind of scary, right? But it's something you got to watch out for. You piss off the wrong person, you get on the wrong side of somebody, throw you under the bus, and next thing you know, you're deported. Scary. I wonder if that's, I did hear that. I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah. You imagine if that's true? That's scary. Our rent price is starting to decrease. Yeah, they're about the same, I think, Michael. They're the same. A couple, whatever. Like I said, studio, you're looking at 20 to 30. One bedroom, 25 to 35. Yeah, I think it's about the same. The nice thing about Cebu City is that they're a dime a dozen. They're everywhere. They're everywhere, man. And they're building more and more and more. There's a lot of properties here in Cebu. Yeah, man. I'll be there at 10:30. Be there. Yeah, I'll be there at 10:30. Maybe earlier. I'll let you know. I'll send you a message. Yeah, looking forward to it, man. I'm hungry. A couple guys might be coming out. I invited Jack and Brian. Maybe Kevin will be there too. So yeah, a couple guys will be coming out. That's so nice about you can just walk over. I gotta freaking get a cab. When it's raining, it could freaking take forever. But I'll let you know for sure. There might be a group out there. Charging might be an issue with an e-bike, especially living in a condo. Yeah. Well, I mean, I would assume you'd be able to just freaking take the battery up and plug it in. Yeah. I like the idea of an e-bike. I think that's pretty cool. And solar. One of the things I've been looking at, right, are some solar generators. Really kind of like that idea, especially as I'm moving out more towards the province. In the city, you don't really need anything like that, but in the provinces, I'm exploring those. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of YouTube on that. Charging might be an issue. Yeah, sorry. Kevin, the problem, Chris, with people changing lanes nowadays is people aren't reliant on their side mirrors and do not turn their head to check the blind spots. Yeah, that's what happened to me in the United States. But like I say here, I feel, and I could be wrong, I just feel, Kevin, that they're more used to, because of so many two-wheeled motorcyclists. I mean, they're everywhere, right? In the United States, not so much. They're just more used to being around than they are in the West. There's something else I was going to say about that too. Oh yeah, and not to be critical of Philippine people, but they are bad drivers, man. I hate the stereotype like that, but I watched this person try to back up into their driveway, and it took them freaking whatever, like it seemed like 5 minutes to back up. Dude, this is their own driveway, right? Something that they've probably done freaking 100 times, and they can't figure out how to back into their own driveway. It's like, holy mackerel. I was just, they're not very good drivers. They're not very situationally aware. It seems it's almost like they lack the peripheral vision. I also see it in restaurants too. When you're sitting there, freaking trying to get someone's attention, you're like, again, I don't want to be super critical, but it is something that I've noticed. It's just like, wow, man, it takes you 5 minutes to back up into your own driveway. Come on, man. You should be freaking, you've done it 1,000 times. You know exactly where to cut the wheel, Just kind of funny. Yeah, I don't think they're the best of drivers. Sorry for my Filipino audience. No offense. I can see Mary Rose is happy this morning. She's definitely had her rice. That was so funny, Kevin. Chris, we were out there, and yeah. We're out at Bo's Coffee, hanging out there, getting some breakfast. And I can't remember what was going on. We had a little bit of an intense morning with whatever was going on there. And so I thought she was a little bit upset with me because of what that was. And we go to Bo's Coffee, we order a breakfast, we sit down, and she's a little bit upset. It's like, and Chris points out, dude, she's upset because they're out of rice. And I look over and she's nodding her head. I'm just so laughing at that. It's like, yeah, man, the Filipinos, dude, they need the rice. They absolutely have to have their rice, man. And honestly, I'm getting hooked on it now a little bit too. I like my rice with eggs in the morning with breakfast. But yeah, it's really funny. Yeah, we can have a sphere and a cricket ball, but not a berry or a philosophy. We're playmates and the fools of nature. Yeah. Smokey Robinson wisdom, play the fool. Well, there's another quote that I was reading just recently. Hold on, let me get it. Yes, hold on 1 second. Yeah. Be here now. 1 second. Where's my quotes? Yes. Copy. Yes, I like this quote. Here's a good quote. Recent one that I've heard. Yes. Do you have an escape plan if China does something dumb? Yes. Go to Leyte. Yeah, go to Leyte. I mean, it's Michael, it is kind of one of those things too that I feel like this might be the perfect spot, right? I mean, really, that's kind of why I looked at backup generators and all that kind of stuff. I feel if you can get into, look, how many of us could wipe our butt 3 years ago? Right? I mean, you know what I'm talking about, right? The pandemic, freaking toilet paper. You couldn't even wipe your backside. You couldn't even get eggs. I kind of would rather be here in a society and culture that's really removed. Like everything is grown locally. You've got chicken, you got pig. If it really ever hit the fan, I actually feel like being out in Leyte, where I'm at, is almost like the best place to be. Right now, I don't know. We can talk about that. Like, why not? Right? Like, why would that be a problem versus the West, where they hit the fan and you couldn't even wipe your butt? You know what I'm saying? I mean, so it was kind of one of the things that when I looked at being out here, that kind of woke me up to living out here. Yeah, Mark was blue light toxic and CNN toxic. Yeah, real. I agree. The media, the local media in the United States, I'm so glad to be free of that. Yes, out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow. A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then heard no more. It's a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying, what's the rest of that quote? Signifying nothing. Yes, signifying nothing. Yeah, man. It's all made up. It's all made up. It is all made up. Wolflink has good breakfast. Yes. Somebody was just eating out there. Yeah, somebody was just eating out there. The group of guys went out there. They liked it. They said they tasted sausage all day, but they liked it. Yeah. Someone of the really old guys will do the same. 5 years on their live stream. Old versus Chandra. Some of the guys, really old guys, will do the same show for the 5 years. Yeah. No, dude, I like keeping the live streams open. I don't really want to. I mean, it's not like I want, but I like people to talk whatever they want to. I like to have an open dialogue. I like us to dive into stuff. You can't do this in a comment section. You know, guys ask questions. God, when I was moving over here, the live streams were so valuable, so valuable. I could ask any question I wanted to. I could listen up. People would ask questions that I didn't even think of. You know, if you're moving to the Philippines or if you're coming here and hanging out, dude, live streams are key, super key. The tidbits of stuff you get from these, I mean, no one's going to make a video on this, right? No one's going to make an entire video on some of this stuff because no one's going to watch it. It's a very limited audience for that kind of stuff, right? But when you come on a live stream, you can ask whatever you want, and they're super valuable. So I like to keep them open. We talk about whatever, right? Deep dive into stuff. So, well, guys, I think I'm gonna call it. I'm actually really hungry, and been almost 3 hours. So I really appreciate everyone being here. Yeah, just shout out for people being here, participating in the conversation. For the person I blocked from the channel, I apologize. I did not intend to block you. I just wanted to mute you because I felt like, you know, you were not really participating. You were just more kind of stirring the pot. But I appreciate everyone to being here, participating in the conversation. And yeah, everyone take care. Take care there. And we will see you on the next one. Empin. Ayo.